Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. It's been a little longer than I anticipated since my last episode. My bad. I got a little busier than I anticipated the past few days. Part of it was just kind of catching up with people that I hadn't talked with in a while. And then family stuff. Well, not a huge deal. We should be back to regularly playing, like, for real this time. But I'm just super excited to jump back in, so let's just go ahead and do that instead of me explaining why it's been a few days. So now we're back in the house. We're back at the house after being out all day, and I'm sure Saber's gonna be real happy. When we explained to her that, we ended up in a fight with Tosaka, just like she said. I ended up in a fight with Ryder, somehow lived. Went to Tosaka's house, called a truce. Probably not even gonna mention the conversation with Archer, but that happened too. Like, Shiro had quite a day. Even though I don't feel like it, I follow my habits as I go into my house. I was about to get jumped by Saber. I feel liveliness from the living room. I bet Fujini's watching TV and Sakura's preparing dinner. Saber, is she in the living room? He's thinking back to what Archer said. I recall Archer's words and shake my head. I don't know what he wanted to say, nor do I want to know. But it's stuck in my head and it won't go away. A familiar called a servant. His honest opinion, scorning heroic spirits as mere cleaners. Wait, did I read that right? Cleaners, yeah, okay. Even though she's in the middle of cooking, she comes out to greet me. I feel like there's bigger problems than you being late, but... Looking, I see that everything's been cut up already. Knowing how good Sakura is, I bet all she has left to do is cook it. Whoops. Yeah, probably. I feel like Saber's gonna be a bit irritated that Shiro basically did not carefully heed her words, and then she was exactly right. If Sakura's hesitating to say it, it must mean Saber's really mad. It's only natural though, since I broke our promise of me coming home before dark. Yeah, there it really is. Fujini says something really scary while she munches on a mandarin. Fujine, なんかセイバーに変なこと吹き込んだりしてないだろうな。その約束を破ったやつは道場でしないうちの刑だとかなんとか。For your sake, I sure hope not.
したよ。うちは体育会系だから容赦なくやっちゃっていいって。
Oh no. Oh no. Poor Shiro. Oh no. That's unfortunate. I see. I'm sorry, man. Why is this so funny to me? So my enemies aren't just other masters. There's another one hiding here as well.
つかぬことを聞くけどな。藤根、セイバーを道場に連れて行ったのか？稽古するなら竹刀を使えって。
うん。さっき軽く手合わせしたんだけど、あの子とんでもないわよ。剣道を知らないくせに、私以上に剣道家っぽいんだもん。
Sure.
あの子、向こうでフェンシングでもやってたの？
Sure, we'll leave it at that.
いや、フェンシングはやってないと思う。どっちかっていうと、藤根とキャラが被る。
Like how she swings around a big sword unmatched to her size, and how she attacks enemies like a wild animal.
いや、自業自得として観念しよう。それより藤根、三綴りのことだ。あいつ家に帰ってるのか？
なんでシローが知ってるのよ。三綴さんのことは知らされていないはずよ。
It didn't.
まあ、生徒会室で盗み聞きしたんだ。それでどうなんだよ。三綴り見つかったのか？
I'm gonna go with no. I'm guessing her soul like got drained by Shinji. Or Shinji kidnapped her. One of the two. Probably. Although they did say they searched Shinji's home, right? I think I remember them saying that, so... I stare at Fujini. Fujini's a teacher, even if she may not seem like one. She keeps quiet about things she shouldn't talk about, and I'm sure she'd tell a lie to comfort a student. So I have to stare at her to notice any changes while I ask about Mitsuzuri.
どうなんだ藤根。やっぱり一向に変化なしなのか？
仕方ないなあ。黙ってたら今すぐ飛び出しそうだし、絶対秘密って話でもないし。けどシロー、今回は特別だからね。シローが三綴さんの友人だから教えてあげるのよ。
分かってる。恩に切るから早く。
What happened?
じゃあ結論から。三綴さん、さっき保護されたわよ。今頃は検査も終わって家に帰ってるんじゃないかしら。
Really? Huh. Okay.
ちょっと意識が混濁してるらしいけど、外傷もないし命に別状もないって。それ以上の話はダメ。シローも友達なら三綴さん本人から聞きなさい。
There's no way it's that simple, right? Last seen with Shinji, and we know what kind of person Shinji is. That boy's scum on earth. That's the kind of person Shinji is. We'll see, it'd be nice if it was that simple. But I feel like I say that a lot, and then it's never that simple.
とにかく大事はなかったんだな、あいつ。
Thank God. I don't know what Mitsuzuri got into, but I know it has something to do with the strange incidents happening in town. It's likely that the source of it is that this master at my school. I don't know what I would have done if something happened to Mitsuzuri.
そうだ。さくら、ちょっといいか？
はい。何ですか、先輩。
いや、大したことじゃない。ただ、シンジがどうしているか知らないかなって。
I guess if you need info about Shinji, it's not that illogical to approach his sister. Even if he kind of keeps her out of the loop.
すみません、先輩。昨日はこちらに泊めてもらって学校に行ったでしょ。だから家には帰ってないんです。先生にも兄さんが無断欠席したって聞いたんですけど、
事情はわからないか。そうだよな。さくらが知ってるわけないし。ごめん。見当違いなことを聞いちまった。
Again, would have been convenient, but didn't seem likely.
そんなことありません。兄さんのことは私が一番よく知っているんですから。兄さんが休んだ理由ぐらい気づかないといけないでしょ。
I mean, he kind of keeps you out of the loop on things, so...
いや、そんなことはないだろう。実際、さくらがうちにいてくれて助かったし。
The event in the woods. If the person there was really Shinji, he has to have some kind of connection with the servant in black. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Then, there's the worst case possibility that he is a master. If that's the case, wouldn't it be dangerous to let Sakura go back to her house? Yeah, it would be. Don't do that.
先輩、それはどういう
Means you're not going nowhere.
さくら、今夜もうちに泊まってけ。着替えなら藤根のを使っていいから。
先輩、それは
できるならしばらく泊まり続けてくれると助かる。いや、さくらが迷惑だって言うんなら帰ってくれていいんだが。
Oh. But it's absurd. It's troubling to be asked so suddenly to stay over.
すまん。困らせるようなこと言って悪かった。
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but I feel like she's probably not going to have much of a problem with it. I bow my head and apologize. Then,
言葉に甘えます。
That is exactly the response I expected from Sakura, I'm not gonna lie. She was blushing like crazy the whole time, too. Sakura agrees so quietly that it's almost lost in the sound of the cooking stew. Wow, that is pretty quiet. Almost more quiet than the stew. It's getting late. I went to the dojo with Saber after dinner to receive my punishment. Saber called it training, but I swear she was just beating me up. And when we finished, it was past 10 o'clock. Boy got whooped. It seems they're sleeping together again today, as Fujini and Sakura go to the Japanese-style room.
シロ、どうしました？部屋に戻るのではないのですか？
Have they even talked about today's events yet?
ああ、戻るよ。ただ、その前に、セイバーに聞いておきたいことがあって。
気になることですか？どうぞ。私に答えられることであれば構いませんが。
I guess I'll get right to the point. What Archer said. Servants who have no freedom seek the Holy Grail to obtain freedom. It has to be the case for Saber, but he said Saber would not wish for freedom.
セイバー、お前は聖杯が必要なんだよな。
はい。私の目的は聖杯です。そのために私は英霊になった。それは以前にも話したはずですが。
That talk with Archer really lingers like heavy on his mind.
わかってる。けど、それは何のためなんだ？聖杯さえ手に入れれば、サーバントはマスターがいなくてもこっちに留まってられるんだろう。なら、セイバーは聖杯を手に入れて、ここでやりたいことをやるんだよな。
いいえ、聖杯を手に入れた後、私はこの世界から去るだけです。この時代の人間ではない私がここにいることは許されませんし、何より私にはやりたいことなどありませんから。
Yeah. Man. Wouldn't that be convenient? Her eyes show her determination. It shows no hesitation nor lies. In that case, there's nothing I can say to her.
そうか。セイバーの目的が何なのかはわからないから、強くは言えないけど。
I think it's unlike Saber to ask for a wish from the Holy Grail. That is very correct, actually. That is a perfect read. I don't know what the Holy Grail is, but I vaguely think that it's not appropriate for this golden-haired girl.
約束したからな。セイバーに聖杯を手に入れさせるって。今はそれを信じよ
う。何かあったのですか、シロ。どうも帰ってきてからのあなたは覇気がないように思いますが。
He had quite a day, and obviously that talk with Archer lingers heavily in his mind. I don't think that even needs to be said again. It just is like the case, and it's pretty obvious, you know. For him, he's now kind of wondering about the true nature of servants, what their motivations are. Are they really just like, you know? I guess it's kind of in the name that they're servants, but is that like, do they really have like no freedom? You know. That's got to be what he's thinking. I'm wondering a lot of the same things. Because we kind of know Saber's case, but we don't know the average servants.
そんなことはないけどな。だってそうだ。セイバー、今後の方針なんだが。
Saber looks serious now, as expected of her. Saber is Saber no matter how well she gets along with Fujini. It's annoying, but her true nature is revealed in her fighting, like Archer said.
今日学校に行って、そこに3人目のマスターがいるってことが分かったんだ。そこで遠坂と一波乱起きた。いろいろあって、学校に潜んでいるマスターを探し出すまで、遠坂とは休戦協定を結んだんだが。
Man, he really brushed over that whole thing, huh? I had a quarrel with Tosaka. Yeah, that's one way to put it. She was trying to take your head off, bro. Those shots she was firing at you, it looked like a Barrett 50 cal. Honestly, that might be like underselling it too. Like, she was trying to kill you. It's just, we had a quarrel. That's one way to put it. I report what happened today in a hurry. Saber's listening seriously at first, but as the story goes on, she starts to look at me unhappily.
セイバー、遠坂と協力するのは反対か？
いいえ、シローには知識がないのですから、リンから学ぶのは賛成です。
You're not wrong, but dang.
ですが、そういった大事を決めたのならすぐに伝えてほしい。それとできるのなら相談も。
Honestly, that is completely fair. That is completely fair. You guys are a team, and he just made the decisions, like, without you. I can see why you'd be a bit peeved by that, especially when he's, like, not exactly some, like, lifelong bred master, you know? He just kind of got thrown into this role. Saber glares at me. I'm ashamed of myself since she's absolutely right.
では明日からはリンと協力して校舎を探索するのですね。
そういうことになる。何か異常を見つけたらセイバーを呼ぶから、それまで待機していてくれ。
方針としては手ぬるいですが、シローが戦闘になれるまではちょうどいいでしょう。
He's already more used to it than you'd think. He never even mentioned the whole, oh yeah, and I went into one-on-one combat with Ryder part of this, so...
当面は学校に結界を張ったマスターを追うのですね。
I nod, after thinking for a while.
確認しますが、学校に潜むマスターを倒した後はリンとの休戦協定は白紙に戻り、彼女とは敵同士に戻る。
That's the idea.
それに間違いはありませんね。
That's the idea. We'll see if it, like, stays like that, or if it's all gonna be all of a sudden, oh, we gotta team up to fight Berserker now. Or, oh, we gotta team up and fight Caster now. Or if we're actually gonna, like, right after that, we're beefing. Like, I don't know. I don't want Tosaka to be in, like, antagonist role. But, I mean, it is what it is in the Holy Grail War, you know? I'm sure in at least one of the routes she'll take on more of an, like, antagonistic role. Saber asks to make sure. Well. Ooh. Save. There will... no more truce with Tosaka, or can't say for sure. That's how I'll label that. That's a good question. Now, personally, I want to say I can't say for sure, but is that really the right move? I don't know. Because the truth is, like, who knows? Will Tosaka continue her spree of only being lenient around Shiro? Or will, like, you know, after this, is she gonna come try to take our head off, you know? I don't know, truly. So, and I guess I can't say for sure, but I think the answer Saber wants to hear is, I guess that's how it'll be, but I don't know. If it somehow changes anything, I don't want to dismiss the possibility. I can't say for sure. I owe Tosaka, and most of all, I personally don't want to fight against Tosaka.
ダメだ。まだ断言はできない。学校のマスターを倒してもまだ先があるかもしれないだろ。バーサーカーっていう怪物もいるんだ。協力し合えるならできる限り協力した方がいい。
See, I'm not against that at all. Don't, like, set anything in stone, but leave the possibility open. Seems
そうで
wise.
すか。マスターがそう言うのならば従いますが、それではシローが辛いだけになる。
That's
そ
honestly
の時になって自らの選択を悔やまないでください。
it's a fair point, honestly. Saber bows and leaves. I know. The more we cooperate, the greater the likelihood that we'll fight in the end. I should try to be Tosaka's enemy for as long as I can if I don't want to be mentally hurt. Or else, what's going to remain is a big scar. Because no matter which one of us wins, the survivor has to finish off the loser. Yeah. No, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Like, that viewpoint. It would hurt me if we went this entire route, allied with Tosaka, and then right at the end we had to kill her. That would hurt my soul. That would truly hurt my soul. I mean, unless Tosaka ends up being like absolute trash in this route. But as it stands, with current Tosaka, that would hurt my soul. I'm dreaming. Using a small connection like a blood vessel, I see a memory that I cannot reach. It is his memories. At the very least, it's not mine. This is someone else's story. It's so long ago that he doesn't even recall it. It's so old that he doesn't even try to recall it. It's so ancient that he cannot recall it. It is a heavy burden of a contract that has been established and cannot be withdrawn. Are we back into Archer's memories? It's not like he wanted something. If anything, he was the kind of guy that cannot put up with anything. He cannot put up with having people cry around him. He cannot put up with having people get hurt around him. He cannot put up with having people die around him. That's the only reason he had. And for that reason only, he tried to help everybody in his sight. He was clumsy, and it made you worry if you were looking at him. But he would accomplish it in the end, and I think he changed a lot of people's lives. I'm sure his life was a happy one. His clumsy battles were not meaningless. He was able to save people proportional to how much he got hurt and how many times he faced death. But there's one pitfall there. I set everybody in his sight. But one can never look at oneself. Ooh. Ooh. Dang. That's a whole line right there. Wow. I honestly did not expect that. I thought they were going to go in the direction of, like, there were those, he didn't see that he couldn't save. That is not the direction I anticipated. So, in the end, he cannot save the most important person of all, himself. I don't know how it ended up like that. No, it should be the other way around. It was a wonder that it didn't end up like this earlier. Anyway, it was a terrible disaster. A lot of people died, and a lot of people were facing death. Something that could not be solved with his powers alone. With many deaths in front of him, he...
契約しよう。我が死後を預ける。その報酬をここにもらい受けたい。
Ugh. It is Archer. So I think this means I kind of made a decent read on him, but like in the Fate route, but we'll talk about that after this. Yes, he made a contract with something as mysterious as the world, throwing away himself to save people. It is the birth of a hero. That's all. There's nothing after that. Even if he's called a hero, it doesn't change what he does. From the beginning, it was not his objective to be a hero. It's just that he needed the power of a hero in the process. But his end came rather quickly. An excellent savior is nothing but a nuisance for the people that are not getting saved. He understands his own powers and the extent of the world. He accepts what can be saved and what cannot be saved. That's why he wanted at least the people in his sight to be happy. A lot of people called it hypocrisy. Many despised it as an extreme value. The way he silently pursued his ideal was something he should have been proud of. But in the end, he met an uncompensated end, as the contract promised. He reaches the place. He had friends and a lover. He lost all of them, and he was cornered by the ideal he pursued. He had no place to go. He was burdened with many voices of resentment, but still kept fighting. He knew of his fate, but he acted like he tried to perform miracles using his fate as a support. But that comes to an end. The place he reaches at the end is a hill of swords. His battle ends on the hill among the rusted, ownerless steel. Still alone. But he smiles in satisfaction as he lets go of the sword, as if saying there's nothing to regret if he was able to save everybody that came into his sight. Okay, so that had to be about Archer. Like, there's no way that was not about Archer. Wow. So it kind of seems like I had a pretty decent read on him in the Fate route when he was addressing Shiro, right? And how, like, how his ideals would end, right? I kind of had this idea that he had been like, you know, a hero in the past, and he'd been in Shiro's shoes, and it didn't end well for him, right? I'm almost positive I said all of this at some point or another. If I didn't actually say any of this, I guess you can just call me out in the comments. But I'm almost positive I mentioned exactly that, and that it looks like that's exactly what happened. You know, he wanted to save everyone in his sight, and he never looked at himself. You know, he saved everyone in his sight, but like it said, he couldn't see himself, right? So he never saved himself, and he made that contract, which is what he's bound by now. To gain the power to save people. And in the end, while he didn't necessarily regret it at the time, it seemed, you know, people resented him. People called out his hypocrisy. And maybe he eventually, because of this contract, grew to resent it, right? I don't know. Maybe that's the explanation. Because a lot of the things he said in the Fate route, to me, it kind of screamed like, I've been there, Shiro. Like, I promise you, your ideals aren't what you think they are. They don't end like you think they do, you know? That's kind of what it's seeming to me, honestly. I'd have to really double down on that stance, I'd have to reread some of the conversations from the Fate route. But I remember, like, that's just kind of the vibe I got from it. That, or like, specifically the ones where he talked about Shiro's ideals, at least, right? That he was a lot like Shiro at one point. I always thought he saw himself in Shiro in a way, right? And that's why, even if they despised each other, he would, like, fairly regularly have talks with him, and give him meaningful advice in them, even if he did it in the most harsh way, you know? I don't know. We'll see if maybe I watched the one scene and, like, drew that conclusion and it turns out I'm wildly wrong. But it seems like quite a possibility. Like, it seems like that is Archer's backstory. Like, somewhat. Not the whole thing, obviously, but part of it. Still super excited to see more of that. I'm excited to see Archer in general. Let's just move on. That was a really good scene, though. Really, really good scene. My body feels heavy. My awakening comes with a headache.
昨日の傷のせいかな。右腕、まだかすかに痛むし。
I murmur while getting up. It's past 6 o'clock.
まず、今日くらい朝飯作らないと。
I woke up late. I jump out of my futon and change instantly. Fujini and Sakura have morning practice. They'll be leaving here around 6:30, so I won't make it unless I hurry. Probably already too late. Unless your breakfast is just toast. After I see them off, I drink tea with Saber. Time flies by and it's past 7 o'clock before I realize it.
それじゃあ行ってくる。留守番よろしくな、セイバー。
はい。シローも気をつけて。リンの助力があるとはいえ、無茶はしないように。
Yeah, I'll try. Feels like so far there's much less of a connection with Saber on this route.
なあ、昨日で懲りてる。敵を追いかけるときはセイバーの力を借りるよ。
Yeah, he nearly learned that the hard way yesterday. Or well, he did. He almost learned it too late, though, I guess. Is the way to put that. I wave goodbye and leave. The morning air is peaceful. But the place I'm heading to isn't normal anymore. I get myself mentally ready as I go down the hill. Yosaka's acting like a master, so I should act as one too. It's kind of hard to act as a master without your servant. But I get to class right on time. I greet people as I make my way on my way. My eyes catch a glimpse of someone and my mind goes blank. Is it Shinji? Yep. I don't need to think. I run straight to Shinji.
シンジ、お前。
いやあ、エミヤ。どうしたんだよ。今朝は随分と物騒じゃないか。
Boy, don't
僕が休んでる時に何かあったの？
don't talk like that. He'll snap your neck right now. He almost did it once. He'll almost do it again.
何かあったじゃない。お前、三綴りに何をした？
三綴り？ああ、綾子ね。何でも家出してたらしいじゃん。僕も今朝道場で聞いたよ。昨日シントの方で見つかったんだってね。
Bro, you can't really think he's gonna buy that. I don't know what's funny, but Shinji laughs. Looks like he's sneering at her.
とぼけるな。三綴りと最後に会ったのはお前だろう。その時あいつに何をしたかって聞いてるんだよ、俺は。
はあ？何をしたかって？ただの世間。それよりさ、聞いたかいエミヤ。綾子のやつ、そこいらの路地裏に転がってたんだぜ。フラフラでさ、制服もボロボロだったって話さ。
What did you do? I don't buy that it wasn't him. What did you do?
いや、何があったか知らないけどさ、ちょっと聞き捨てならないよな。普段から選ぶってるあいつがさ、どんな風に捨てられてたか興味あるよね。どうしたんだよ、そんな怖い顔して。冗談だよ冗談、本気にするなって。それに綾子は保護されたんだろ。家で療養中だっけ。ま、あいつが帰ってくる頃には噂話も広まってるだろうから、何かとやりづらくなるだろうけど。
Something awful happened to her.
お前、今の話、弓道部のみんなに話したっていうのか。
I'm sure he did.
さあね。けどもう1年の間じゃ有名だぜ。伝言ゲームじゃないけど、昨日のうちからくるくる回ってたらしいからさ。
How did you become even more of an unbearable human? I clench my fists. Did he go around and tell everyone such a story? Mitsuzuri is a girl. Everyone thinks she's strong, but she's still a girl. So no matter how strong she is, it'll destroy her if such a rumor is spreading. And he still spread the rumor in spite of that? He took a secret and spread it irresponsibly?
シンジ、お前。
You gonna deck him right now? I grab his shoulder.
そう睨むなよ。僕は知らないって言ってるだろ。身勝手な思いつきで言いがかりをつけると後悔するよ。
Nobody-
エミヤ。
Like, nobody here is buying that. Shaking my hand off, Shinji goes to sit down. The homeroom bell rings. I can't stay standing when everyone's sitting down. I glare at Shinji one more time and head to my seat. We really need to go talk to Mitsuzuri. The day ends. School's over and the students head home one after another. I could have questioned Shinji, but I don't have any proof right now. Even if I told him about seeing him in the woods yesterday, it would amount to nothing if he tells me he just happened to be there.
先に確証を取らないと。
I don't know if he's a master or not, but I'm sure he has something to do with Mitsuzuri's case.
マスターを識別する方法。服を脱がしてレイジを見つけるしかないのか。
Yeah, that's not exactly the most effective thing to do, but... Well, I'm sure no master's going to allow me to do that.
そろそろか。遠坂ならいい方法を知ってるかもな。
Yeah, I highly doubt any master's gonna let you do that. I get up. I promised Osaka I'd meet her in the hallway after school. This isn't the hallway. I get together with Tosaka and look around the whole school. According to Tosaka, the boundary field has its foundations set up throughout the school. Tosaka's been searching and erasing them, but it seems they keep coming back up or new ones are created, preventing Tosaka from completely eliminating the boundary field.
結界自体はもう貼られちゃってるから、私がやってることは効力を弱めているだけよ。それでもやらないよりはマシだし、不完全なうちは相手だって結界を発動させないでしょ。
Yeah, I really hope this doesn't end like it did last time, but we'll see. That's the case according to her.
遠坂、聞きたいことがあるんだけど、いいか？
I call out to Tosaka after she eliminates the mark on the rooftop.
何？まだ屋上に違和感を感じるの？
いや、それとは別件。ここにはもうおかしなところはない。俺の方はここで打ち止めた。
そう。なら生きている時刻はほとんど消せたかな。エミヤ君、魔力感知はできないくせに場所の異常には敏感なんだもの。まさかこんなに早く校舎内の時刻を消せるとは思わなかった。
Well, that's good at least. I mean, he can't sense magical energy, but he still got some use there. He can just feel that something's wrong. Tosaka's in a good mood. I'm happy I got to be of help, but this is no time for that.
なあ、トサカ。マスターってのは、マスターがわかるのか？その、サーバントは隠していても、ただいるだけで気配が変わるとか。
別にそんなことはないけど、そうね。何も再考しなければマスターの識別はできるでしょうね。マスターはもともと魔術師がなるものだから、魔力を探っていけば魔術師は見つけられる。加えてサーバントなんていう破格の使い魔と契約してるんだから、隠したって魔力は漏れるわ。
So do we tell her now? Do we tell her to, like, we can't sense that, I need you to check on Shinji?
エミヤ君は鈍感だから気がつかないけど、私だって魔力を残して歩いてる。魔術師が見たら一目で私がマスターだってわかるだろうし、
Apparently not.
私だってマスターを見れば識別できるんじゃないかな。
Apparently you cannot.
そうなのか。けど、トサカ、俺が魔術師だって知らなかっただろ。それは。
何？それ言っていいの？
I mean, that's fair. Tosaka sounds mean now. I have a bad feeling about this.
いや、いい。だいたい想像ついた。
Yeah. Yeah, I think you figured it out.
賢明ね。まあそういうことよ。魔術師じゃなくても微力な魔力を持つ人はいる。魔術師はね、一定以上の魔力を帯びた者しか魔術師って認めないの。
Really? So Shiro literally can't actually be called a magi then. Or magus.
はいはい。
Excuse me.
そんなことだろうと思ったよ。
She had to say it anyways, though.
けど、それじゃあ、今の俺はどうなんだ？
Nothing.
それが全然変わらないのよね。まあ不完全な召喚だったっていうし、傷を治す以外はセイバーとのつながりは薄いんでしょうね。まあエミヤ君は特例だからそういうこともありでしょう。
Yeah? And Shinji isn't a master. Oh my god. No! Stop! This is so frustrating because of the fact that we obviously know he is. We obviously know he is, so it's just all the more frustrating. Just saying him, then Shinji isn't a master. No, just go check. Just have Tosaka, like, try to check or something. Oh, man. Even if I can't tell, Tosaka can identify a master. Tosaka should be able to feel the lingering magical energy if Shinji is a master with a servant.
なんだ、マスター探しだなんて言うけど、その気になればすぐにでも見つけられるんじゃないか？
By that logic...
強い魔力の残りがを辿っていけばいいんだから。
Sorry. By that logic, she should have already found out who the other the magus is in the school. She hasn't. So clearly, she doesn't have like perfect ability to detect every master. You know, she should be able to detect who it is. So I feel like Shinji really should not be off the list, but he's just, you know, Shiro's gonna have faith in his friends. To a fault.
そうでもないわよ。例えばの話、魔力を隠してしまう道具を持っていれば敵には悟られないもの。まあサーバントのデタラメな魔力を消せる道具なんて少ないでしょうから、そんなマスターはいないと思うけど。
Well, it would appear Shinji does.
じゃ
Or
あ、
something
も
like
し
that.
遠坂の身近にいる人間がマスターでも、そんな道具を持っていたらわからないってことか？
どうかな。ものによるけど、どんなに隠しても近くにいればわかると思う。サーバントと契約している以上、どうしても世界との摩擦は起きるから。
Friction with the world.
身近にいてもマスターかどうかわからないってことは、そのマスターはサーバントを使っていないってことよ。まあ例外はあるかもしれないけど、9割方はそう考えて間違いないと思うわ。
9 times out of 10 really is not that reliable when you have a sample size of 6 other magi. It means there's like a little more than a 50% chance that one of them you just can't detect who they are. I feel like that's not that reliable, honestly. I mean, I know that's probably not like an actual hard rate, but I feel like you can't really cross that possibility off. Maybe that's just the fireman player in me. But like, 50%, like, you think that's a lot less common than it is. Or, like, I guess a lot more common, But then you realize, it can happen. Like, it's not unrealistic at all, obviously. I wouldn't want to take that chance in this situation. We returned to the classroom. Even though we couldn't find any clues about other masters, it seemed Tosaka's happy that we eliminated a lot of the marks. She said something about the enemy coming out in the future because we were so active and whatnot.
気が長いな。近いうちって言ってもどのくらい先かわからないだろう。
そう？こんな結界を張るやつだもの。邪魔されて我慢できる性格じゃないわ。私の見立てでは明日よ。二度目は黙ってられない性格でしょ、こいつ。
I mean, maybe, but...
そんなもんなのか。
そんなもんよ。さて、私は用事があるから先に帰るわ。
Oh, jeez.
明日の決戦に備えていろいろ買わなくちゃいけないし。
I don't even want to know what you're buying.
それじゃあまた明日。それと、今日は早めに帰りなさい。
She's gonna buy a
寄
Glock.
り道なんてしたらダメだからね。
Buy a Glock, give it to Shiro.
なんだ、心配してくれるんだ、父さんが。
A little bit?
違うわよ。協力関係になったんだから勝手に脱落されちゃ予定が狂うじゃない。今のはそれだけのちょっとした確認事項。
Sure. That blush definitely makes me sure that's exactly what it is. It could be nothing more than that. You're right. Tosaka says so quickly. Yeah, and the way she said that so fast, actually. Her panic is so unlike her, and it's obvious that she's only hiding her embarrassment. I see. I'm beginning to understand more about Tosaka.
ともかくエミヤ君は無防備すぎるんだからあんまり軽率な行動はしないこと。私は例外で他の連中は即命を奪いに来るんだからね。
You say you're an exception like you didn't already try that. But, I mean, you're not wrong. Your point's not wrong. It's just kind of funny. You literally did try to kill him. You're like, other masters will try to kill you. Tosaka looks away and tries to leave. Seeing her leave, I suddenly...
父さんが、今もアーチャーはそばにいるのか？
murmur something meaningless.
いるけど何？あいつに話でもあるの？
You here to trash talk him? Like, do you need to actually talk with him, or...?
いや、別に。父さんはうまくやってるのかなと思って。
Tosaka looks back at me in wonder at the sudden question. Yeah, what? Then...
ははそういうこと。ええ、心配無用よ。あいつひねくれてるけどいいやつだもの。ああ見えても子供っぽいし、付き合っていく分には楽しいわ。
Saying so happily, Tosaka disappears down the stairs. I honestly thought Shiro might address the, the dream he had last night. Possibly with Archer, but obviously not. Mitsuzuri's case might still be affecting me, as I'm at the Archer range before I know it. The range is far from the school building and seems deserted. The club activities are over, so there's nothing to find here.
帰るか。
I turn around and head to the gate. In between me and the gate is Shinji. Stands Mato Shinji, as if to block my way.
いや、今頃お帰りかい？最近は物騒だから、生徒は速やかに下校するんじゃなかったっけ？
Crazy how the number one suspect right now for the boundary field just so happens to be at the school still, after we erased a lot of the marks sustaining the boundary field. Crazy. Sure, that's just a crazy coincidence. I don't think I can be calm facing Shinji here. I ignore him and keep walking.
友人に挨拶もできないぐらい疲れてるわけか。まったく。呪国潰しなんて地味なことしてるからそうなるんだよ。
Yeah, we are. His voice sounds delighted. I jump back and ready myself.
忠告潰し。そんなことを言えるってことは、お前。
Yeah. He's exactly what you suspected and never bothered mentioning to anyone. Oh, man. God. It's, you know, it's just frustrating. Like, it's not even that it's out of character or like that it doesn't make sense given the context. It's just knowing who Shinji is, seeing how he kind of overlooked the signs, right? It's just like, oh my god, Shiro, the signs were all there. I glare at Shinji.
ああ、そういうこと。お前がしらみつぶしにしてくれた結界はさ、僕が仕掛けた保険なんだぜ。それをあんな風に消されちゃ、こっちは怖くて学校に来れなくなるじゃないか。
I see. So this is how stupid I am. Yeah. Yeah. I knew about it when I saw Shinji in the woods, but I rejected the idea because I was unprepared for the truth. At least he comes out and says it, huh?
待てって。そう構えないでよ、エミヤ。うるさい遠坂もいなくなったし、男同士ゆっくり話し合おうじゃない。知っての通り、喧嘩は嫌いなんだよ、僕は。
He's going for that alliance again, I guess, because he's scared of Tosaka. I mean, I'm not. I don't want to go for it. I do not trust Shinji.
話し合う俺とやり合う気はないっていうのか。
見たところ、エミヤもマスターなんてものに無理やりさせられたんだろ？
Yeah, more or less.
僕もそれと同じでね。魔術師でもなければ戦う気もないっていうのにマスターにさせられたんだ。
You can stop the cap, though.
で、目下のところ誰とも戦わないで済む方法を探してる最中ってわけ。
Boy, is
だ
that
からここ
cap.
でエミヤと争う気なんてないんだ。
Ah, man, just knowing what we know from the Fate route and just hearing what he says, it's so obvious how he's trying to, like, manipulate his way through this, you know? Like, maybe it is kind of true and he doesn't necessarily want to fight, but he definitely will, right? He definitely will, and he definitely will kill you. Or he will definitely try to kill you, at least. He didn't succeed.
そうかよ。じゃああの結界は何だ？あんなものを仕掛けておいて戦う気はないっていうのか。
And that's no ordinary boundary field. Obviously, Shiro has no reason to suspect that, but...
バカだな。あれは欲しいんだよ。学校には遠坂っていう根っからの魔術師がいるだろ。
For your protection... Oh my god, stop the cap.
あいつはマスター同士の戦いに躊躇なんてしない。となると、魔術師じゃないマスターとしては防護策を持っておかないとやっていけないじゃないか。
It'd be real convenient if that was for protection.
あの結界はそれだけのものだよ。誰かに襲われない限り発動させることはない。
He's making sense. I don't know if Shinji is really a master or not, or how he became one. What? What do you mean you don't know if he's really a master or not? It's pretty obvious. I mean, I guess this could be one crazy bluff. Like, but I mean, he clearly is at least, like, in the know, right? Sheesh. I mean, I guess it's not 100%, but, like, there is, like, an absurdly high chance that he's a master at this point. I probably would not even be writing the possibility off. Like, it would probably be I know he's a master. I don't know how he became one, though. But I can trust his story. No, you can't. This is so frustrating. I know there's no reason. I fully get from this perspective of the story, there's no reason for him to not, like, you know, at least sort of believe Shinji here. But just knowing that this is not true, like, at all. Ah, oh, man, it's frustrating. Knowing what the truth of this is and what that boundary field really is. If Shinji says so, I should believe him. Didn't you just call yourself stupid for not seeing the signs and just believing him? But before that...
Shinji, 昨日女性と襲ったのはお前か?
I have to get this question answered.
昨日のことか。あれは仕方がなかったんだ。僕のサーバントはジャジャ馬でね、放っておくと人を襲う。僕はマスターに選ばれただけの人間だ。遠坂みたいな本業じゃないんだから、言いつけを聞かせることも大変なんだよ。
じゃあ、昨日の件はあくまで事故なんだな。お前のサーバントが勝手にやったことだと。
Don't tell me you're gonna buy this.
ああ、これからは気をつけるよ。僕も自分の住処で事件なんて起こしたくない。あいつには僕を守ることだけ徹底させるさ。
それは本当だな、シンジ。
ああ、嘘を言ってもしょうがないだろ。隠しておくこともできたのに、こうしてわざわざ告白してやったんだ。
I do not believe a word he is saying.
エミヤ、僕のことを疑ってただろう。むやみに襲われたら行き着くところまで行くしかなくなるからさ、先にこうやって正体を明かしたんだ。僕は誰とも戦いたくはないからね。
I can't trust everything he says. You can't trust anything he says! But if Shinji really thinks so, everything would work out.
わかった、信じる。お前が何もしないんなら俺も手は出さない。それでいいんだな、シンジ。
Oh man.
いいね。エミヤにしては物分かりがいい。けどそれじゃあ困るんだ。こうやって話し合いに来たことをもう少し理解してくれないかな。
Shinji holds out his hand. So that means
僕に協力しないか、エミヤ。
no.
お前は知らないだろうけど、もともとマトウの家は魔術師の家系なんだ。まあ父の代で魔道は耐えていたけど、知識だけはまだ残っている。どうかな。素人のくせにマスターになった君にとっては頼りになる存在だろ。
Don't you even dare think of saying yes to this. But he's totally gonna say yes. Isn't he? The Mato line is a family of magi? Yosaka didn't say such a thing. No, she must have excluded him since magic died out in his father's generation, like he said.
どう？遠坂に頼らなくても僕たちが手を組めば聖杯戦争ぐらい生き残れる。こんなの考えるまでもないと思うけど。
Oops. His hand is held out. Shinji's proposal isn't bad. It makes sense and it's a viable option.
シンジ、お前がマスターだってことをさくらは知ってるのか？
はあ？なんだ、本当に素人なんだな、エミヤ。いいかい？魔術師の家系は長男にしか秘技を伝えないんだ。長男以外の子供なんてただの予備に過ぎない。
By eldest son, do you mean like eldest kid? Because, I mean, we've seen plenty of female magi, so... Well, I guess we don't have proof that any of them have brothers, though. In all fairness. Okay.
そんなのに魔術を伝える意味はないし、手間も惜しいんだよ。
Just spare organs. How did I not even realize that for a second? Wow. Such a thing.
たく、あんなとろい女に窓を伝えるもんか。
He's gonna say no just because of this, isn't he?
マトウの秘技を継いだのは僕だけだ。
I see. That's really good. Sakura shouldn't be involved in all this. I want her to be smiling happily all the time.
シンジ、お前が何もしないんなら俺もお前には何もしない。
I don't think that's what
そ
he's
れで文
going
句は
for.
ないだろう。
And that is an awful deal for you. Like, oh my god.
そう。協力はできないってこと？
We getting jumped by Ryder. Call Saber now, please.
する必要なんかないだろう。お互い戦わないんなら協力するもしないもない。
Yeah. Crazy, huh?
自分の身を守りたいだけなら聖杯戦争が終わるまで教会に保護してもらえばいい。
Crazy.
それぐらいのことは知ってるんだろう。
It's almost like he wants to fight.
へえ。なんだよエミヤ。君、もしかしてこの殺し合いに勝とうだなんて思ってるの？
I have no intention of fighting, but I'll fight anyone that attacks me, and I can't just ignore people that'll bring disaster to this town. And
殺し合いなんてするか。ただ俺は聖杯ってやつの正体を見極めなくちゃいけない。そのためには最後まで残るしかないだろう。
won't kill people. I mean, so far I don't think he's killed anyone. He very, very nearly killed Shinji, but he didn't. We'll see if he can manage on this route, or if he like does right, like actually kill someone on this route. But I don't think he properly killed anyone besides... I mean, he helped a lot with Berserker, I guess, you know? Wait, no. He definitely... I could be crazy, but I'm almost positive that he killed, Wait. Did he kill Kotomine? I'm not gonna look it up, but... I'm dumb and I can't remember. I think he might have, but I also vaguely remember, like it flashed between him and Saber a bunch during that point. So I don't remember if it was like Gilgamesh was defeated by Saber, who then defeated Kirei, or if they defeated them at the same time. I actually do not remember. Like, I definitely should know this. It's been a while since I played Super Heavy, so... Oh my goodness. I got, like, on my second monitor, I have the files, like... I have my files loaded. I'm just trying to look at my screenshots from the route. Whoops. Well, I didn't mean to pop that up, but I guess I'm not going to bother taking it down. Okay, no. Based on the pictures, almost positive that Shiro got that kill. Because there is definitely a, like, dagger sword going right through the chest of Kotomine, and it does not look like Saber's. So I think that's kind of not true, but that was a really long tangent. I might just cut that out. I don't know. But, I mean, point is, it's probably not necessarily true. He's not going to go out of his way to kill people, but for the most part. I turned my back to Shinji.
そうかい。あくまで戦うつもりか。
Man, are we about to get in another fight here?
まあ、僕には関係のないことだけど、それならさくらを巻き込むような真似はしないよな。
Are you dumb? God, no.
そんなの当たり前だ。お前こそさくらには隠し通すんだろうな。
もちろん。けど兄貴としてさ、これから殺し合いを続けるってやつの家に妹は置いておけない。
Well, then where do you suggest she goes? It's not any better at your house right now.
お前が戦うって言うんなら、聖杯戦争が終わるまで、さくらは家から出さない。
Never mind. I guess if he's...
それでいいよな、エミヤ。
If he's convinced that, you know, if Shiro's convinced that, Shinji's not lying, then I guess this makes sense as a proposal. Shinji does have a point. As long as I'll be fighting, my house is in danger.
わかった。さくらには俺の方から言っておく。それでいいな、シンジ。
オーケー。後輩思いの先輩で助かった。正直、お前がいつさくらを人質にするかヒヤヒヤしてたからね。いや、これで当面の悩み事は解消されたよ。
I really don't like having Sakura go back to Shinji, but I mean, I guess what are we gonna do? God, man. I hate this. I hate this. Every fiber of my being. I don't know what's funny, but Shinji laughs.
話はこれで終わりだな。なら帰るぞ。
ああ、ご自由に。けど分かってるよな、イミヤ。ここで話したことは僕たちだけの秘密だぜ。こっちはエミヤを友人と見込んで秘密を打ち明けたんだ。それを人に話すようなことになったら、僕だって何をするかわからない。
That must mean I'll activate the boundary field if I tell Tosaka about this.
ああ、黙ってる。けど、遠坂が自分で見つける分には別だぞ。俺は遠坂にできる限り協力する。あいつがお前の正体を知ったら戦うことを止めない。
I feel like he has to see that this isn't gonna, like, just peacefully resolve itself. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased, I guess, like, in how I see things, because I know Shinji has activated that boundary field already. But if he's already threatened you, right? Like, if you tell Tosaka, I'll activate the boundary field, basically, and he really thinks Shinji won't do it, like, if, like, Tosaka finds out, like, and at that point, it's not any better.
そういうわけだから、見つけられたくなかったらおとなしくしてるんだな。
I mean, I guess that's fair. Like, don't do anything to be found out, or else, like, we will kill you, basically. I head to the gate for real. The school building is tinted by the setting sun. Shinji sees me off without a word. There are only 2 sets of shoes at the entrance. Fujini's and Saber's. I guess Sakura's gone home already. I'm worried, so I go to the living room without saying I'm home. I go through the hallway with quick steps. As I expected, Sakura isn't in the living room. Moreover, there's a person that looks like Fujini doing something like cooking.
あ、おかえりしろ。何驚いた顔しちゃって。
You're cooking?
なんかあったの？
She must have been mixing flour as she puts a bowl she's been mixing onto the table.
ああ、いや、驚いてるって言えば驚いた。
And Sakura's gone.
その、いつもと何もかも違うから。
Yeah. Actually, I don't remember how many years it's been since I last saw her do something like cooking.
いつもと違う？あ、そっか。さくらちゃんのことね。さくらちゃんなら帰ったわよ。お家の人から電話があって呼び戻されちゃった。
そうか。シンジのやつ、直接電話してきたのか。
It's needless help, but I guess he wanted to take care of it as quickly as possible.
シンジ君？まあ、いっか。
I'm worried. After tilting her head in question, Fujini goes back to the kitchen. I'm a bit curious. It's not completely dark yet, so I'll stop Fujini's wrongdoing before the sun sets. Who do we want to hang out with? Spend time with Saber, I cannot spell Sakura, or Fuji. I actually have no clue. And I always try not to metagame on these choices. Because it's probably not a significant choice. Maybe you get, like, relationship points for it, but, like, I mean, if I don't get enough relation points, I don't get enough relationship points, I guess, with whoever I need them with. If I need them with anyone on this route, I can just redo that stuff. I don't really care. Rather see what I want to see, but I don't know what I want to see. The scene with Fujini sounds pretty funny, actually. I'll stop Fujini's wrongdoing before the sun sets. We should probably tell Saber that we're home. I think Sakura is, like, my third choice here. Sorry, Sakura. It's not that I don't like Sakura. It's, that I guess I think the scene with Fujini sounds pretty funny. And, scene with Saber, I don't know. It's probably relevant to tell her what happened today, but I doubt the scene is actually telling her what happened today. Right? Like, I feel like it's much more likely just literally us like, oh, I'm home, like, I don't know. Let's go talk to Saber, I guess. This scene seems pretty funny, but I guess we'll
ちょっ
get
と
it.
セイバーに声かけてくる。藤ね、どういう風の吹き回しか知らないけど、夕飯は任せていいのか？
This might be a disaster. We're all gonna get food poisoning now, and then we're gonna die tomorrow.
いいよ。オッケー。美味しいカニ玉作ってあげるから期待してなさいよ。
That shocked look on her face. You did not expect that. I am a bit worried, but Kanitama is like an omelet, so Fujini should be able to handle it. It's gonna be awful.
ただいま、セイバー。今帰ってきたぞ。
I take my shoes off as I go into the dojo.
おかえりなさい、シロ。その様子では大きな動きはなかったようですね。
I wouldn't go that far, but Saber must like the atmosphere since she's always here. I matched Saber into Japanese style to tell her what happened today, about how we eliminated the boundary field and how Tosaka is expecting a counterattack tomorrow.
なるほど。敵マスターとの戦いは明日ですか。では今夜は十分に睡眠をとり、力を蓄えねばなりませんね。
Yeah, but I also called a truce with him, so... I nod back. I know I'm being too optimistic, but I don't tell her about Shinji. Oh my god. I don't want her to consider him as an enemy until I figure out his true intentions.
しかしシロ、もうじき夕食ですが、ここにいていいのですか？
いや、別にこれといった用事はないし、夕飯まで時間があるから、セイバーに報告に来たんじゃないか。
Has she already heard the legends of Fujini's cooking?
たまにはこうやって夕飯までゆっくりするのも悪くないしさ。
Like, she looks like she has the fear of God in her eyes.
では今夜の食事はシロが作ってくれるのではないのですか？
There's gonna be dinner, relax.
そうだけど、問題あるかな。ほら、藤姉も頑張ってるし、邪魔するのも悪いじゃないか。
確かに大河の意欲は尊重すべきですがそのシロは本当に手を貸さないと。
Oh god. Saber is not happy with this arrangement.
貸さないよ。大丈夫。藤姉だってもう大人なんだし、カニ玉の一つや二つは作れるさ。
And this is where the smoke detectors start going off.
いや、もしかしたら俺よりうまいかもしれない。何しろ、意外性 A 判定の性能だ。
She might even be better than me, sure. I give her a weird explanation. But Saber frowns.
わかりました。大河ではなくシロを信じます。
Fujini straight up said she can't cook.
重ねていますが、信頼していいのですね、シロ。
Uh-oh. She makes sure with a threatening tone. You better go help.
ああ、信頼してくれていいけど。
You're gonna get jumped when this is trash.
確かに聞きました。その誓い、決して忘れぬように。
Oh no. Saber relaxes her shoulders. God, this round is funny to me. It's been really funny. Man, who could have imagined that this was going to lead to such a disaster? This had to have gone horribly wrong. It's time for dinner. Fujini's special kanitama bowl is ready on the table. It's a simple dish where there's rice in the bowl and kanitama put on top of it. It looks like there's a yellow lid on the bowl, and it honestly doesn't look good. But it should make the rice taste better since it's in a bowl. It's like katsu bowl and teriyaki bowl. There's no way it can taste bad because the good taste of the ingredients seep into the rice. The only drawback is that the taste is simple, but that's a small price to pay.
じゃ、いただきます。
いただきまーす。
Oh lord.
いただきます。
I'm scared for Shiro's life, honestly. We bow and dig into our food. Then, the food isn't soft like kanitama. No, it feels strange, like I'm eating a main dish.
バカなー！事件発生。カニ玉丼が別の料理になってるよ。
What did you do? This isn't an emergency or anything. This is more like an okonomiyaki bowl. Oh god.
なんでこうなっちゃったの？私ちゃんと聞いた通り作ったよ。
うわ、もしかして藤姉にこれ教えたの藤村組の若衆さん？
うん。おっきな卵焼き作るって言ったら小麦粉とかいろいろくれたの。
I wanted her to realize the mistake right then. I thought that being able to make an omelet was a function every human being was born with. Kanitama is just a variant of an omelet. It was my mistake to assume that Fujini couldn't mess up something like that. That's right, Fujini can't even cook an omelet. I can't either, I gotta be honest. Yo, Saber's about to... You're gonna take a beating in practice later.
シロ。
Then, I hear a voice filled with disappointment.
セイバ
I slowly turn to her.
シロ、 いくら私でもさすがにこれは食べにくい。
Bro, she was shaking with like anger, bro. She was, oh no. Yikes. Crap. It's hard to tell, but it seems Saber's mad. Yeah, no, she's mad. The hellish dinner ends and it's time for a strategy meeting. But I've already reported to Saber about what happened today. Since it's likely that there will be a fight tomorrow, we should be preparing.
それでは今夜も外に出ることはないのですか、シロ。
なあ、セイバーには歯がゆいだろうけど、今はそれで我慢してくれ。むやみに戦う気はないし、何よりめったやたらに戦えるほど余裕がある状況じゃないだろう、俺たちは。
I mean, debatable. I think the magical energy is the biggest thing there, but I'm inexperienced as a master. How did I forget that? Yeah, no, that's a big one too. And Saber has a limit to how many times she can fight since I'm not giving her any magical energy. Yeah, I guess you can't really. Yeah, you definitely can't afford to just freely fight willy-nilly. We can't be leisurely looking for masters in our situation.
わかりました。確かにシロの言い分には一理あります。積極的ではありませんが、勝利するためには細心の注意も必要ですから。ですが、戦う意志があるというのなら無駄な時間は使えません。今夜はここに留まるというのであらば、その時間を鍛錬に使うべきです。
Poor Shiro. He's about to get whooped. Saber stares at me. She doesn't even need to tell me. I brought Saber to this dojo with that in mind.
わかってる。セイバー、昨日のこと覚えてるか？俺が夜遅く帰ってきたら、たるんでるってことで手合わせしただろ？あれ、いい教訓になったんだ。勝てないやつには何をやっても勝てない。そんな初歩的なこと、セイバーと向き合うまで気づかなかった。
You know, at least he actually realizes that in this route.
そういった心構えの意味も含めて、セイバーと手合わせするのは大切だと思う。どのくらい効果があるかわからないけど、セイバーがその気になって相手をしてくれれば、俺も少しは生き延びることができるだろう。
It's a good mentality to have.
では、シロ。
ああ、これからは時間に余裕がある限り鍛えてくれ。差し当たってはこれから寝るまで。
You're about to get whooped now. I take the shinai on the wall. It's still 8 o'clock. There's still 4 hours until bedtime, so I'll train my heart out.
セイバー、ちょっと待った。
Oh god. I stop Saber since I feel my life's in danger. Because a Saber turns to me.
何か戦う心構えを鍛えたいということですので、私もシロの意気込みに応えてみたのですが。
Oh no. She's obviously ready to kill me.
さあ、鍛錬を始めましょう、シロ。
Oh god.
まずはあなたの不明を打ちます。確かにシロはたるんでいますからね。今夜のようなことがないよう気を引き締めてもらわなければ。
So she is mad about dinner.
なんだそりゃ、あれは藤姉が悪いんだろう。
You were the one who said it was okay, man. You promised.
それにセイバーだって文句言いながらちゃんと全部平らげて。
問答無用。それにシロ、意識を失う前に言っておきますが、あれはやむなくです。今後それを忘れぬように。
I will tell you before you faint. Oh no, she plans on whooping him. Oh no. Saber disappears. And I see stars. Oh man. So I'll go through 4 hours of torture now, huh? Grudges over food sure are scary. Yeah, no kidding. Hey, guess we should have helped prepare dinner.
セイバーのやつ、やるとなったら本気で手加減なしでやんの。
I get into my futon. My body is covered in bruises and pain-killing patches, and I'm sure it'll all be sore tomorrow.
疲れた。
I take a breath. I trained my strengthening magic after Saber's training, and I'm tired both physically and mentally. Saber and Fujini are sleeping in a room a bit away from here, but I don't care. I'm just tired. I'll sleep for now and prepare for tomorrow. Yeah, good idea. Is a fight coming up? I don't know. Whoa. Rider backstory? Am I dreaming? My mind's dozing off. My body's asleep and I can't move a finger. Then, this has to be a dream. Wait. Is this Caster? Could this be something to do with Caster? I hope not. I hope it's just a dream, but it's a dark night. My ears are ringing. My feet are asleep, but I'm walking down the hill. If he ends up at the temple, bro. Is this Caster? It's cold. The wind is blowing on me, and since I'm in my pajamas, my body is freezing. This coldness is unlike Fuyuki City. The chill would be cold enough to wake me up if this were a dream. Yeah, this is not a dream, bro. We got a problem. I have no idea what that's saying, man. We're at the crossroads. I walk through the empty town. The annoying sound won't stop. Ignoring my shivering body, my feet are moving towards somewhere. I try to scream and realize that my throat is frozen. This isn't a dream. This can't be a dream. But my mind's still asleep. My limbs, they aren't following my orders, and they're walking on as if manipulated by something. I mean, this has to be Caster, right? Yep. Yeah, it's Caster. Why? Why are we at the temple now? This must be the destination. My feet move faster as they move up the stairs. Did I just somehow reach a bad end? Or is this like a story section and we're somehow gonna live here? The ringing in my ears turns into a voice. No, that's wrong. The sound hasn't changed at all. It has been repeating the same thing over and over. What fills my head is a female voice filled with magical energy. I see the mountain gate. Something's on the other side, and if I cross that gate, I won't come out alive. I don't know what it is, but my dozing mind screams out for me to run away. Go back, go back, go back. Stop. You can still make it. Wake up and go back. Oh. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Don't listen to that voice. My consciousness wakes up. My head clears and my will finally returns. Boy, you better book it out of here. But it's too late. My limbs don't obey me as they go through the mountain gate. Uh-oh. Are we dead? The only certain thing is my mind. My body does not listen to my will and walks into the Rito temple following the voice. The temple is covered in darkness. In the center stands something with an inhuman magical energy. The figure wavers like a mirage. The shadow reminding me of death strips off the darkness and the figure becomes a witch like one would see in a fairy tale. Does that imply you're not going to kill us either way? A sneering laugh. It seems my body is under her control. My feet that never stopped freeze at the command. My consciousness wavers. My limbs still do not move, and an unknown enemy is standing before me. Yes, she's an enemy. I can be sure of that. She's a servant, a heroic spirit that excels the most in magic out of the 7 servants. I move my throat with all my effort and glare at my enemy. Her cool voice is mocking me. I put power into my legs, but my body will not move. Damn, what the hell am I doing? I've been lured here, and on top of that, I can't move a muscle. I concentrate on my limbs with all my power. I don't know what kind of a trick it is, but it has to be her magic that's restraining me. And if I can extract her magical energy out of my body... Yeah. No, that's fair. That is a bit naive. If it was that simple, I don't know how Caster would have got this role. I concentrate all my will to search throughout my body. Caster's magical energy. The enemy's magical energy that's inside of me, restraining my body. I look inside my body while keeping my eyes open. It's alright. It's nothing difficult if I'm calm. I identify the flow of magical energy every night. I just have to do what I've been doing and identify Caster's poison inside of me. Even if I can't move it out of my body, I can concentrate it onto one of my limbs so that I can move the other 3. Oh, nope. How can this be? Caster's magical energy is not mixed within me. The only poison-like element is this one small point on my chest. But all of my body is acting abnormally. It's not that there's something wrong with the blood flowing in me. If there's something abnormal, it's not my blood, but the blood vessels themselves. It's like having my heart locked up. The red spot on my chest has to be Caster's magical energy. One cursed word is taking away my body's authority. It means I was cursed when I was sleeping. Even if I was asleep, it should have been impossible for me to be seized by a magic cast from so far away. Magi have magic resistance. It is the power to repel magic, such as hypnotism, binding, and coercion. Well, I mean, you don't have much of that, clearly. We've seen it before. As long as one is a magus, one cannot be easily controlled by others. It's a fundamental law. Magi have magic circuits. The circuit in one's body does not only make magical energy, but it can also repel external magical energy. Therefore, it is difficult to interfere with someone with a magic circuit, and it is difficult even to control a magus several ranks lower than you. As the magic circuit repels external magical energy, magic is destroyed before it can be completed. For that reason, indirect intervention magic, such as hypnotism and binding, has a low success rate. Even if the target is not a magus, the magic can be repelled unconsciously if the target has a magic circuit. From that point of view, an intervention of just attacking with pure magical energy like Tosaka does, making a weapon in this world and attacking the opponent as a result, is a simple method. Physical impact works on everyone. It does not matter if the target has a magic circuit or not, as people will bleed if they are cut with a knife. That's why this situation is strange. I'm sure I could be affected if I had a magic cast on me from close range. If I had met Caster before and she cast coercion on me, it's probable that I could be controlled even at a distance. But I've not met Caster before, nor have I had a curse cast on me. So this is our first meeting. Without moving from here, Caster cast a spell to the faraway Emiya house and controlled my body. Yeah, that is kind of absurd if that's what happened. The word witch pops into my head. She can control a magus' body from a distance of a few kilometers. Does it not mean that Caster can control everyone in this town from here? My spirits weaken. As the magic is complete, there's no way I can dispel it. I can't do anything unless Caster releases me or I get some outside help.
理解できて。あなたを縛っているのは私の魔力ではなく、魔術そのもの。一度成立した魔術は魔力という水では洗い流せない。
Yeah, he definitely realized that. Unfortunately.
液体と固体のようなものよ。形を得たものに水をかけても、その形は崩れないでしょ。
I mean, like, that's not necessarily true, but okay. Solids definitely can crumble if enough water is poured on it, but I don't. That wasn't your point. I get what you mean. The shadow steps closer to me. The bluish-purple robe melting into the night is smiling.
けれど例外もあるわ。例えばそうね。あなたたちが編み上げた魔術など、私にしてみれば泥の建造物に過ぎない。そんなもの、かける水流が多く激しければ、形になっていようと簡単に洗い流せる。
Oh, never mind. That was exactly her point, actually.
理解できて？私とあなたたちの違いは、そういう次元の話なのよ。
それでわざわざこんなところまで呼びつけたわけか。
ええ。マスターたちは皆小物だけど、
Yeah.
その中でもあなたは飛び抜けて力不足でしたから。
You didn't have to come out and say it.
何しろ町の人間たちと変わらない高魔力ですもの。
Sheesh.
そんなマスターを見つけたら、こうして話をしたくなるのは当然でしょ。
She smiles. She shows superiority as if I'm her prey. A chill runs through me. Don't lie about wanting to talk to me. She's ready to kill me at any moment.
ほら、また誤解。安心なさい。殺してしまっては魔力を吸い上げられないわ。
Ah, I see.
この町の人間は皆私のものですからね。殺さない程度に生かし続けて最後の一滴まで差し出してもらわないと。
Her laugh echoes in my ears. Yeah, I don't think that's any better for us. I'm not gonna lie. A missing piece fits inside my head. Did she just say she'll suck up all the magical energy from the people in this town?
キャスター、お前無関係な人間に手を出したな。
Oh, he pissed now.
あら、知らなかったの？あの小娘と手を組んだのだから当然知っているものと思っていたけど。そう。
When did we cooperate with Emiya in this route? That did not happen. That definitely did not happen. Is she somehow gonna, like... I don't know, unless she's somehow seeing into the fate route. I have no clue what she means by that. Unless she means Tosaka. I guess she means Tosaka. She has to mean Tosaka, right? A little girl says Emiya to me, but... Let's just see
ま
what she
だ
has to
知ら
say.
なかったのね、あなた。
Nothing else helpful. Okay. I mean, little girl makes me think Emiya, but she has to be talking about Tosaka, who is indeed investigating what Castor's doing, right? And she knows that we're cooperating with Tosaka. And then she assumed that means we would know, except we didn't. I mean, I guess it's possible they bring in cross-route stuff like that, but it did not seem very likely to me. So that's what I'm going to assume, unless they specifically somehow prove otherwise. Right? I mean, it's possible cross-route stuff like that happens, but for some reason I really doubt it. Castor smiles even more. Seems like she's pondering how to kill her prey.
なら教えてあげる。私、キャスターのサーバントには陣地を作る権利があるのよ。魔術師は工房を持つものでしょ？それと同じよ。私はこの場所に神殿を作ってあなたたちから身を守る。幸いこの土地はサーバントにとって鬼門ですからね。陣地としては優れているし、何より魔力を集めやすい。初めはあまりにもあなたたちの魔力が少なくて加減がつかなかったけれど、今は程よく集められるわ。
That's a problem. So is Castor gonna be like a main villain on this route?
ほら見えるでしょ。この土地に溜まった数百人分の魔力の貯蔵、有象無象の人のかけらが。
じゃあ町で起きてる事件は
All
お
Castor.
前が。
ええ、ここは私の神殿だと言ったでしょ。なら供物を捧げるのは下界でうごめく人間たちの使命ではなくて。
Sheesh. The strange coma incidents happening in town. I thought there weren't that many victims, but she just said hundreds of people. When I strained my eyes, it looks like the swirl of magical energy in this place is made of more than 1,000 souls.
キャスター。
I concentrate all my will into my limbs, but there's no change, and Castor's standing there as if to make fun of me.
さあ、それでは話を済ませてしまいましょうか。
Yeah, this is the exact kind of menace to society Shiro was waiting for. So we can play the hero, I guess.
あなたもずっとそうしているのは退屈でしょ。
She whispers into my ear. At the same time, the enemy I couldn't see fills my vision.
セイバーのマスター、あなたからはその令状をもらってあげるわ。
How about you don't do that?
セイバーは消すには惜しいサーバントですもの。彼女にはあの目障りなバーサーカーを倒してもらうとしましょう。
Castor raises her arm. Her fingers are going for my arm.
霊視を奪ったと。
Is that possible? I think Tosaka said that one needs to pull out the nerves along with the command spell.
そうよ。まずはその皮を剥いで、それから令状を私のマスターに移植する。
Or, hear me out, don't do that. Something's gotta stop this unless this is a bad end, right?
けれど令状は所有者の魔術回路と一体化しているでしょ。令状を剥奪するということは あなたから神経を引き抜くということでもあるわ。
Castor says so as if it's nothing at all. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. She just kind of like, yeah, I'll just take out all your nerves. Yeah, okay. Pull out my nerves? She'll cut off my arm and take all the nerves in my body with it. If she does that, I'll...
ええ、正常ではいられなくなるでしょうね。けれど安心なさい。命まで取りはしないから。
I think at that point he'd rather you take his life, but... I desperately put power into my limbs, but they won't even twitch. My limbs won't move, and I'm like a prisoner about to be executed. Something has got to stop this, right? He's not just going to lose his command spell, right? Right? A bewitching smile. The glowing fingers reach out from my left hand like a crawling spider. Interlude time. How long has it taken her to notice that something is wrong? She wakes up to a strange feeling and goes out into the hallway.
シロ、
She first thinks that the feeling might be coming from her master, more like the lack thereof. It is because the strange feeling is coming from Emiya Shiro's room.
まったくまだ魔術の鍛錬をしているのですか？
No, he is not. Please check on him. The golden-haired girl. Saber sighs. It's good that he's enthusiastic, but he will collapse unless he rests while he can. And when she decides to go warn him, she realizes her own mistake. She gasps after confirming it. The strange feeling isn't coming from Shiro's room. Under the moonlight, a string, thin as her hair, runs through the darkness. The string is going into Shiro's room from outside, a thin string that even the boundary field here did not catch. If one is to give praise to the one who pulled off such a thing, one also needs to give praise to Saber for noticing such a thing. There's no time to think. The girl turns into a knight in an instant and runs outside. She runs through the empty town. There's no hesitation in Saber as she runs. She knows where she must go. She only needs to follow the string, the beat of her master. The only thing she has to do is run as fast as she can. It makes no difference whether her destination is the enemy's territory, nor how many traps might await her. She has sworn to protect her master, so anything that might befall her is negligible. Is she going to be able to deal with Castor just like that, or in time even? It is a mountain stained with vast amounts of magical energy. Ghosts of the dead are flying above like crows, and the trees are covered with invisible blood. The collected magical energy, the stolen souls, remain here, and the mountain should consume anyone that may approach it. If there is such a thing as a place to die, this place is a perfect example. She goes in without hesitation. She had no intention to stop from the start. If this place is hell, she has to save her master all the more. She runs up to the stone stairs. The traps she had anticipated are not there. The mountain gate is within her view, and she should reach it with one more kick from her magical energy-filled legs. But her advance stops right there. No, it is stopped by the enemy. Oh my god, are you serious? Oh, we're doing this again. Oh my god. So, like, does she have control over Assassin or something? Like, why is Assassin here? Like, defending the temple? I don't understand. On the stairs leading to the mountain gate stands a servant. His name is Sasaki Kojiro. Servant Assassin, the protector of the Ryudo Temple, wielding the longsword Monohishizao. Saber's mind is disturbed as she readies her invisible air. Her master is on the other side of that mountain gate, but the servant in front of her is way too strange. He reveals his true name willingly. He does not have a stance, and his cool enmity is transparent. She cannot figure out his power because of this transparency. She can see his power as a servant. Assassin is not a strong servant, so it should be easy to defeat him, but her instincts are telling her something different. That she cannot beat him in a normal duel. He's probably controlled by Castor somehow. Like, that's my
貴
only
様に
bet.
用はない。そこをどけ、アサシン。
She suppresses the strange unease and glares at Assassin. There's only one more step until they are both within range, up or down. If either one moves, a fatal attack should be executed.
聞こえなかったのか。どけと言ったのだ、アサシン。
Her final warning. The swordsman with the longsword calmly responds to her words.
そうか。この門を通りたいのだな、セイバー。
Yeah, I would. Why are you blocking? Her green eyes glare at Assassin for asking such a foolish question. He must like the answer. The longsword dances through the night in an arc.
ならば押し通れ。急がねば、お前の主人とやらの命はないぞ。
Like, is Assassin just like completely under control, or I don't know. He laughs in a cool manner.
アサシン
Saber charges in reply. The longsword comes down to her at the same moment, and she repels it with her invisible sword. The clash of the swords echoes through the summit. Their powers are equal, but that is not an advantage for her. She's impatient. The enemy she must quickly defeat is a strong one that would be hard to beat even without any time constraints.
シロどうか
She grits her teeth and prays. That opening, that excess part of her, is permeating her body. The battle does not end. The mountain gate is too far away. Oh man. The Saber's not going to be able to, like, come to the rescue necessarily. There's no way he just loses his whole command spell, right? Right? Castor extends her finger. Archer? We gotta hope for Archer and like to somehow notice this, and him and Tosaka roll up, I guess. I want to fight back, but my body will not move. My limbs can't move freely, and my senses are being taken away, and I'm sure she will eliminate me.
さよなら坊や。悔やむのなら、その程度の力量でマスターになったことを悔やみなさい。
Maybe I will. My body does not move and accepts the finger of death. I resist the urge to close my eyes and keep glaring at Castor.
あらいい子ね。そういう頑張りは嫌いではありませんよ。
Castor sneers at my resistance and puts her finger on my command spell. Even my free will is numbing. In my fading consciousness, I hear a sound like crashing swords from the other side of the mountain gate. Yes, sir! What did I say? Here they are. Let's go! Oh, man. Tactical nuke incoming! What kind of a miracle is it? I hear tens of sounds cutting through the air, and numerous arrows pierce the ground in front of me. God dang! Castor instantly retreats, her robe fluttering behind her. Their arrows pierced in the ground in front of Castor. The 13 arrows were shot from above. They were probably all shot at the same time, and I'm sure it would have gotten Castor if there had been one more arrow. The owner of the arrows is standing on top of the mountain gate. The knight in red jumps down to the ground empty-handed.
とうに命はないと思ったが、存外にしぶといのだな。
Talking to us or Castor? I think he's talking to us. The man, Archer says so while standing in front of me as if to protect me from Castor. This alliance with Tosaka. Coming in clutch. Or maybe it is that he sees something in us, right? And he doesn't want us to go like this.
お前なんで
Was he even ordered by Tosaka?
何ただの通りがかりだ。
Just happened to drop by?
あまり気にするな。
No, you saw something and came to help.
で、体はどうだキャスターの糸なら、今ので立ったはずだが。
Can he move? After he says so, I check my hand. It moves. My frozen body has its freedom returned with just one attack by Archer. Who is this dude? Who are you? He's built different, we know that. But who are you?
動くキャスターの呪縛は解けたけど
それは結構。あとは好きにしろ。と言いたいところだが、あれに殺されたくなければ、しばらくそこから動かぬことだ。あまり考えなしに動くと。
アーチャーですって アサシンめ何をしていたの？
Fighting Saber. Oh my god, there's so many servants here right now. Jesus.
そら、見ての通り、八つ当たりを食らうことになる。
Yeah.
女の劇場というのは、なかなかに良しがたい。まったく、少しばかり手荒いことになりそうだ。
Bruce response is, a woman's fury is hard to control. Man, I think this will get rough. What? What a response. I did not expect that. Okay. Archer laughs. I can't tell how serious he is.
さて、そう怒るなキャスター。アサシンならば、セイバーと対峙している。あの侍、何者かは知らんが、セイバーを押しとどめるとは大した剣豪だ。
Yeah.
むしろ褒めてやるべきではないか。
Even though he's facing his enemy, there's no tension in Archer. Castor must have noticed that as well, as she regains her calm.
ふざけたことを。あなたを止められないようでは英雄などとは呼べない。あの男、剣豪を名乗らせるには実力不足です。
おう、その言いぶり。アサシンが自分の仲間だとでも言いたげだが、やはり協力し合っているのか、君たちのマスターは。
We still have no clue who their masters are. Right? Neither of them. It's not
そうで
a
な
point.
くてはこの状況に説明がつかん。
Yeah.
一つの場所に二人のサーバントが今日構えるなどとな。
It makes the most sense. It's the only real explanation I can think of. Castor is staring at Archer silently. I can't see her expression hidden behind the robe, but it seems she is bewildered.
ああ、じゃあ今の本当か。アサシンとキャスターのマスターが協力し合ってるって。
He's kind of going on the same information as you, I think.
ああ、門の外を守るアサシンと、門の内に潜むキャスター。この両者が協力関係なのは明白だろう。
You don't really need more information than that.
マスター同士が協力し合うのも珍しいことではない。現に、お前とリンとで手を結んでいる。
He's right, now that he mentions it. And that must mean there are two masters here? And then that means... Oh, sheesh. There's a lot of masters here right now.
何を言い出すかと思えば、随分と的外れなことを言うのね、アーチャー。
Really? Did she take Assassin as her own servant? Is that what this is gonna be?
うん。なんだ、違ったか。参ったな。君たちが仲間だというのは確信だったのだが。
I love the fact that he doesn't even seem to care that he's wrong. He's like, dang, I was wrong. Tough.
ええ、見当違いも甚だしいわ。仲間ですって。私があの犬と協力し合う？
Yeah, I mean, I knew that
私
much.
の手駒に過ぎないあの男と？
I figured he was under her control somehow. The question is it the same way she always does? Or did she like kill his master and take him as a servant? That would be really interesting. If she could do that. I mean, we might get an explanation. We'll see. Castor does not stop laughing. Her laugh is so unsuitable that the tense atmosphere disperses. In contrast, Archer is gritting his teeth. I sense something that was not there before. It is not Castor's enmity, nor the magical energy surrounding this place. For the first time since he came to this place, Archer is showing his enmity.
そう、あなたの予感は正しいですよ、アーチャー。
Oh, wait, what?
私のマスターは誰とも手を組んでなどいないし、アサシンのマスターも同じ。いいえ、そもそもアサシンにマスターなど存在しないのですからね。
That is what it is. Alright. Assassin doesn't have a master? What does that mean? Every servant needs a master to exist. Weren't they supposed to disappear if they didn't have a supply of magical energy from their master? Crazy.
キャスター、貴様、ルールを破ったな。
まさかルールを破ってなどいませんわ。だってサーバントを呼び出すのは魔術師でしょ。ならキャスターである私がサーバントを呼び出して何の不都合があるのです。
So I was right. I mean, not that I got that like way in advance or something, but man. Assassin is actually her servant. What? The witch in the black robe laughs. That means servant assassin is a heroic spirit summoned by Castor? I didn't think she summoned it. I mean, it makes sense. I thought she just binded him after like killing his master or something, but sheesh.
サーバントを操るサーバントか。なるほど。ならばこその架空の英雄か。
I guess that makes sense.
まっとうなマスターに呼び出されなかったアサシンは、本来呼ばれるべき暗殺者以外のものをアサシンにしてしまった。それは構わん。
Yeah, I have a feeling we're teaming up for a while now,
元とな
huh?
る英霊が誰であろうと、敵は倒すのみ。
We still gotta deal with Shinji at our school, Berserker, and now we have a team of Caster and Assassin. That's 4 people that need to be dealt with before we can realistically break off.
だが、それは貴様の独断ではないのか、キャスター。
聞きましょう。なぜそのような結論が出せるのです、アーチャー。
何？ただの直感だよ。その魔術師が自分より優れた魔術師を使い魔にした場合、そこにあるのはただの主従関係ではあるまい。
I mean, you have a point.
マスターが自身より優れたキャスターを警戒するのは当然だ。私が貴様のマスターであるのなら、魔女に自由など与えない。マスター本人ではなく、貴様だけの手足となるサーバントの召喚など強化するはずがない。
それなりの知恵は働くようですね、アーチャー。いいわ。その賢さに免じて今の暴言は聞き流しましょう。
That's fair. Caster stares at Archer as she laughs. There's only enmity between the two now. They're about 7 meters apart. With the charge that Archer showed at school, he should be able to cast... Oh my goodness. With the charge that Archer showed at school, he should be able to slash Caster even before she can finish casting a spell.
納得がいった。セイバーやランサー、ライダーは強力な対魔力を持っている。ここの男の高魔力など比べ物にならない。
Yeah.
次元違いの対魔力だ。彼らにはあらゆる魔術が効きづらい。故に魔術師である君では彼らに太刀打ちできない。
Archer's clever, bro.
となれば策略に走るのは当然だったな。ルールを破り、自らの手でアサシンのサーバントを呼ぶ。この土地に今日構え、町の人間から魂を収集する。自らは戦わず、町中に張った目で戦況を把握する。これだけのことをするのだ。当然、自分のマスターは拘束しているのだろうな。ここの間抜けなマスターのように、とっくに操り人形というわけだ。
Did he really have to come at us like that? I mean, even if you're not completely wrong, you didn't have to come at us like that. She smiles. That sends a chill up my spine. She's not only collecting magical energy from the people in town, she's even treating her master as an object like she treated me. I mean, that's not a surprise, you know? Castor's dangerous. She's not a pure threat like Berserker, but she's the most troublesome enemy as she worsens the situation without showing herself.
ええ、あなたは正しいわ、あーちゃん。けれど私があなたたちにかなわないというのは間違いよ。聖杯戦争に勝つことなんて簡単ですもの。私が手を尽くしているのは単にその後を考えているだけ。
Man,
あなたたちを恐れて策を浪しているわけではないわ。
and then Gilgamesh rolls out and smites you.
ほう。サーバントを倒すのはたやすいと言ったな、キャスター。逃げ回るだけが取り柄の魔女がよく言った。
Dang.
言ったわ。ここなら私は誰よりも強いもの。 バーサーカーやセイバーならいざ知らず、アーチャー程度ではかすり傷さえ負わせられないでしょう。
It would honestly be hilarious if he like utterly annihilated her right now. But I think she's being set up as the big bad of this route.
それよりあなたの方こそ逃げる算段を立てなさい。一度目は許した。けれど二度目はなくてよ。私を魔女と呼んだ者には相応の罰を与えます。
Sheesh, it's about to get real here. Castor's robe distorts. The magical energy in the air becomes a dense fog and covers Castor's body. With it in front of him.
面白い。かすり傷さえ負わぬと言ったな。
Archer murmurs in delight.
ええ。あなたでは私に触れることさえできないでしょう。
I gotta say, the more I see of Archer, the more and more I love him. The Black Shadow answers. The Knight in Red laughs.
では一撃だけ。それで無理なら、あとはセイバーに任せよう。
This dude has confidence. He sprints like the wind to Castor. The Red Shadow runs. I don't know when he got them, but in Archer's hands are those weapons, those twin swords. He does not allow time for any spell casting. Archer closes in on Castor even before she can raise her hand. And he slashes Castor in half with his swords. The robe, cut in half, scatters in the wind. There's no actual way, right? Archer appears disappointed, standing in front of the enemy he slashed so easily. Must be because it was so easy. She talked so big, yet she lost without even attacking him once. Anybody would lose their spirit. Archer is still holding onto his swords. His red clothing. His black and white short swords are beautiful, and they captivate me. This is strange. Am I captivated by those swords? They are some pretty clean swords, I'm not gonna lie. Also, did he really just, like, cut her down that easy? Like, is Castor actually dead? Am I wrong and she's not actually at all the big bad of this route? Or did she use some trick to get out of there? If he just utterly annihilated her like that, that would be hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Those twin swords. They must be great swords with history, but I feel no malice from them. Noble phantasms are excellent weapons, so it's natural that they are beautiful. If I could see Saber's sword, I bet it would be magnificent. But they're not like that. Fighting spirit that intends to beat others. Desire to be famous. Competitive spirit that tries to beat another weapon. Faith to accomplish some great deed. The sense of purpose found in famous swords and demonic swords is not in these. They were made because somebody wanted to make them. Unrefined twin swords made without a will, as if to question the meaning of the swordsmith. I think those are swords like that. Mirrored swords without vanity. Black and white. Strange swords that represent yin and yang. I'm captivated because their existence is just too beautiful. Castor's slashed body disappears. As Archer starts to put his weapons away after seeing it.
残念ね、アーチャー。あなたが本当にその程度だったなんて。
Yeah, I figured. Castor's voice echoes through the empty temple. Uh-oh. Archer jumps. This is exactly like what happened here a while ago. The light bullets appear from the sky to pierce Archer, and Archer knocks them down with his swords. No, this isn't like before. The ground is scorching red. What is going on? The magical energy in that small light is about 3 times my full magical energy. Even Archer would have had his body blown away if he took a direct hit. Sheesh. Okay, we're fighting Batman. I didn't actually, I didn't really think she was dead. I'm not surprised that she's just chilling somewhere else, like in the air. I look up. There's no moon and seas of clouds are drifting through the night sky. The black magus floats in the middle as if reigning over the heavens.
空間転移か固有実制御か。どちらにせよ、この境内ならば魔法の真似事さえ可能ということか。見直したよ、キャスター。いや、大口を叩くだけはある。
Archer readies his swords while looking up at Castor.
そうですか。私は見下げ果てたわ、アーチャー。
Dang.
使えると思って試してみたけど、結果がこれではアサシン以下よ。
Ouch. There's no way. Absolutely no way.
耳に痛いな。次があるのならもう少し気を利かせるが。
Bro, that sly grin. He said, wow, that hurts. Dude, I'm loving Archer. What the heck? What
ま
the?
さか愚か者に次などありません。
What is that? What are those marks all over?
あなたはここで消えなさい、アーチャー。
I'm gonna be honest, I have a feeling he won't, but that would also be not ideal. Archer starts off. He sprints to get away from Castor, to get out of this place.
逃げ切れると思って。
Castor moves her wand. After the wand targets Archer, something ridiculous happens before me. Excuse me? Is Archer like actually dead? Nobody can hear me say no way. Castor's attack is a rain without pause. The shooting lights are no different from a bombing raid. Each magic is a deadly attack, and Castor is shooting them off like rain. I may be an amateur, but even I can understand how ridiculous this magic is. That's more like great magic. To activate it, one needs a simple magic circle and a 10 count, a spell casting of more than 10 verses. Because great magic is strong, casting it takes time. A normal magus would take about a minute to cast such a big magic. Even a magus that could use high speed casting would take 30 seconds or so. But she did it in an instant. She didn't even cast the spell, but just pointed her wand, and she's shooting them off in rapid succession. I can't even think of someone who could compare with her. And no kidding. I mean, she didn't get the role of caster for no reason. Okay.
めぎつなめ A ランクの魔術をここまで連発するとはよほど魔力を溜め込んだな。
He must not be able to avoid them anymore, as he runs while deflecting them with his swords. Archer tries to run out of the temple, but he changes his course midway.
マルケ貴様いつまでそこに突っ立っている。
Yeah, no kidding! Shiro, move! Archer charges at me with a scary expression. That is scary, I'm not gonna cap. That makes me realize the place I'm standing isn't safe at all now. Yeah, no kidding. I'm already in the range of the shooting lights.
くそなんだってこんな手間を。
Bro is pissed. Oh my god, look at his face. Archer comes at me. The instant I try to avoid him by jumping back, my body is flying through the air. I try to shake him off in reflex. I can't believe it. Archer's running while carrying me?
下ろせバカ何考えてんだお前
知るものか。いいから
That's
黙っていろ。お前に言われると自分のバカさ加減に頭を痛めるわ。バカが。
Also, something's definitely off with my screen. Why is it cut off there? Whatever. Yeah, and Archer's doing this, he doesn't even know why.
バカお前自分がバカだって分かってるのに人のことバカ呼ばわりするのかよこのバカ。
えいガキか貴様。バカでガキとはもはや手がつけられん。せめてどちらかに決めておけタケメ。
Can y'all just leave? Archer must be frantic, as his words make no sense. I've been saved by him, but I just can't accept this. What is happening? Why is this moving? Why is this like the smoke? I think that's supposed to be a smoke effect. It's moving like it just keeps moving to the side and it moved down. What?
いいから話せこれぐらい一人で何とかする
Yeah.
お前の手なんて借りない
Go ahead, take care of this yourself. No, more than that, I can't stand to be a burden on him. Archer should have been able to escape by now if he were by himself. It just keeps moving. But the exit is farther now that he came to save me. He must be an easy target for Castor, as she's above us.
あーちゃん聞いてるのかお前
そうか なら遠慮はいらんな。
Then, Archer suddenly kicks me off of him. You like kick him over the wall? My body hits the ground. He must have kicked me hard as I fly at least 5 meters.
Damn it!
I bear my pain and get back up. Archer has stopped. The shooting lights have stopped as well. The only thing here is the freezing air. I finally notice. Archer's surroundings have stopped, as if everything is frozen. Does this dude, like... What? Hold on. Ain't no way.
気分はどうかしら、アーチャー。いかに三騎士といえど、空間そのものを固定化されていては動けないのではなくて。
What? Are you for real? Caster sounds as if she's already won. Archer does not move at all, and maybe he can't even talk.
どうやらこれで爪のようね。外にはセーバーもいることですし、これ以上あなたにかける時間はないわ。
There is absolutely no way they're killing Archer off right now, right?
どこの英雄だったかは知らないけど、これでお別れよ、あっちゃ。
Yeah, Archer doesn't know which hero he was either, actually. I wonder if we actually will end up finding out. We have to find out eventually, right? There's no way we just go the entire game without knowing that. Caster raises her left arm. Her hand shoots the bullet of light. But right before that, Archer murmurs something.
何かしら、あっちゃ。命乞いなら聞いてあげても。
と言ったのだ、キャスター。
He sounds irritated. When I tried it hard to catch his voice.
たわけ。かわせと言ったのだ、キャスター。
Archer jumps as he yells. He must have broken the frozen space with his powers. Who is this dude? Archer disappears from our vision, leaving a sound like breaking glass behind him.
何よ、バカな。
Caster is perplexed by Archer's scream. And to the right and left of her, a white and black light are aiming for Caster. Caster's robe is cut off. It must be because Caster reacted to Archer's yell, as she manages to narrowly avoid the attacks. Oh, why'd he say something? It does not need to be said, but the thing attacking her are Archer's twin swords. They just move on their own? Are you for real? At that instant, Archer threw his swords right before he kicked me and fell into Caster's spell. The cast swords made an arc and attacked Caster in the sky.
さすがアーチャーってところか。ってあいつどこに。
That's a great question. I'm speechless for sure this time. It must be the same for Caster. The knight in red already has Caster in a checkmate. He has his knee on the ground and he's readying a bow toward the sky. His target is Caster, and the arrow on it is the demonic sword that shot Berserker. Oh my god. What? Archer's voice shakes the air. Caster casts a spell in a rush. Seeing it, Kaladbolg. Archer shoots his arrow. What happened? Kinda looked like she dodged somehow, but... Is that his noble phantasm? The arrow distorts space itself. Like, and what the heck? Like, what was that? Caster's moaning fills the air. The storm-like arrow has easily penetrated Caster's defense. No, she didn't dodge it. Okay, she just got that annihilated? Guessing from that distortion in space, I bet Caster would have been twisted along with space itself, even if Caster had transported herself. Is she wrecked already? But Caster's still alive. Her black robe is scattered, and the body underneath the robe is cut up. Caster's using all her magical energy to heal herself, but I'm sure she would have died instantly if it were a direct hit. That's right. Archer's arrow did not hit her. The arrow was shot into space far from Caster, and she had her protection destroyed by the after effect. The arrow missed. No, that's wrong. It did not miss, it missed on purpose. I don't know what his intentions are. It was a big chance, but Archer missed Castor on purpose. Silence returns to the temple. In front of me are Archer and Castor, who's glaring at Archer. It must have been a lot for him, as I only feel weak magical energy from Archer now. That goes for Castor as well. Even though it did not hit her, Archer's shot has taken away most of Castor's body and her magical energy. Even if there's a big pool of magical energy here, it's meaningless if what collects the energy, Castor, is damaged. So did Archer actually, defeat her, or are they just gonna both kind of leave this unsettled? Castor comes down without spirit. She managed to form her body, but there's nothing inside. It should be impossible for her to continue fighting. Castor watches us while breathing heavily. I don't know why, but she's looking at both the servant that brought her down and at me.
アーチャー、今の一撃、なぜ外したのです？
Now that's a great question. She asks in a weak voice. Archer shrugs as if saying that question is a wonder itself.
いや、試すのは一撃だけと言っただろう。初めの一撃はかわされたからな。その後はただのおまけだ。
This dude, what?
それともまさか約束を違えても当ててほしかったのか？
What the heck, man? He says such a ridiculous thing.
では、私を殺す気はなかったと？
つい挑発に乗っただけだ。私の目的はそこの男にあったからな。他のサーバントと戦うなど予定にはなかった。
I still want to know why he's this concerned about us. I feel like this probably wasn't an order from Tosaka. So did he just assume Tosaka would want him to do this and he saw this? Or did he somehow sense something was wrong and something drove him to save us? I don't know. He certainly didn't have any will to fight from the beginning.
そう。どうやら私と戦いに来たというわけではなかったよね、アーチャー。
ああ、そこの男が腰抜けなのと同じでね。不必要な戦いは避けるのが主義。
Dang, why are we catching strays?
剣を取るときは必勝の好機であり、必殺を誓ったときのみだ。意味のない殺生は苦手でな。
What's so funny? Castor laughs from the bottom of her heart.
そう。ならあなたたちは似た者同士ということ？
Yeah, they're very alike, actually.
Huh?
You guys are very alike. And I think you guys both know that. Or have... I feel like, I don't know, maybe they don't recognize it. I could have... I mean, I guess Fate Route, maybe Archer did kind of recognize it by the end, but... We reply in unison. I assumed somebody would have picked up on it by now. Alike. Me and Archer? What makes her say that?
違うのかしら。あなたたちは無益な殺生が嫌なのでしょ？そこの坊やは私のような無関係な人間を糧にするサーバントが許せない。あなたは無意味な殺戮は好まない。ほら、全く同じじゃない。だから手を組んでいるのではなくて？
I think the truth is nobody knows. Archer doesn't know why.
どうしてそんなふざけた結論になる？お前目が腐ってるぞ。誰がこんな奴と一緒なもんか。
And the denial continues.
同感だ。平和主義者なのは同じだが、根本が大きく異なる。厄介事は早めに片付けるのが私の方針だ。この男のようにいつまでも悩んだりはしない。
何が平和主義者だ。俺は忘れてないぞ。お前はバーサーカーと一緒にセイバーを狙ったんだ。
I too am a pacifist that kills people. Actively tries to kill.
セイバー一人に戦わせて、自分は安全なところにいたくせに。
仕方なかろう。あの時はまだ共闘関係ではなかった。セイバーの安全よりバーサーカーを倒すことが優先されただけだ。それとも何か？目に映るものすべてを助けろなどというのではあるまいな。ならば、
Fair enough.
バーサーカーとて倒す対象にはならないか？
Fair enough, I guess. We glare at each other, or one another. Man, I just can't get along with him. Why does everything he say get on my nerves? Then, Castor laughs even more seeing us like this.
気に入ったわ。あなたたちは力もそのあり方も希少よ。
What exactly does that mean?
敵に回してしまうのは惜しい。
You mean make us your enemies, like we already are? I tilt my head in wonder. Archer looks away from me and glares at Caster.
ちょっと待て。何が言いたいんだお前。
わからない？私と手を組みなさいと言っているのよ。
Are you for real? Get out of here.
私なら今のパートナーより優れたものを用意できるわ。坊やにはセイバー以上のサーバントを。
No.
アーチャーは今のマスターより優れた魔術師と契約できる。
My mind freezes. I question her sanity for asking such a question.
悪い話ではないはずよ。私にはこの戦いを終わらせる用意がある。言ったでしょ？勝つこ
Yeah.
となんてたやすいと。
No.
どう？生き残りたいのなら私に従うべきじゃなくて？
You're the one who just admitted that you know that, like, neither of us can stand you, so why would they ally with you now? I don't even need to think about it. I decided to fight since I want to stop people like her who would involve innocent people, so I can never accept her offer.
断る。俺は
Oh,
お前みたいな魔女とは手を組まない。
that's the forbidden word. I declare so. This is a natural response. I can't cooperate with this servant, and more than anything, we won't betray our partners. I'll be fighting with Saber, and Archer will not do anything to betray Tosaka. Man, you better hope so. I don't know. Maybe he will. He's pondering it. Wait. Why is he silent?
おい、あーちゃん。
拒否する。君の力を借りる理由がない。それ以前に君の陣営はいささか戦力不足だ。いかに勢力を伸ばそうとバーサーカー一人に及ばない。まだ組みするほどの条件ではないな。
He really considered it, though. I sigh with relief. I had a bad feeling, but he's not like that. I hate him, but he's still firm on his beliefs.
そう。交渉は決裂ということ。
そうだ。だがここで君と戦う気はない。
I
この場に居
figured.
合わせたのは私の独断でね。マスターの命令ではないから君を撃つ理由はない。
I guess you can call it a draw,
ここは
technically.
痛み分けということで手を打たないか。
Technically, you can call this a draw. This is more like a Archer didn't want to utterly annihilate you yet. So, he didn't. And like I said, yeah, it's by his own choice, not his master's orders. So he is genuinely here because, for whatever reason, he feels the need to help Shiro. Maybe it's just the truce they have, right? Or maybe it is something like he sees himself in him. I don't know. But he sees himself in Shiro. I doubt my own ears. Did he just say he'd let Caster go?
意外ね。あなたのマスターは私を追っていたでしょ？なのにあなたは私を見逃すというの？
Yeah, I can't lie though. That's a bold decision. It's a strange one.
ああ、お前がここで何人殺そうが知らん。
Oh, jeez.
それは私には預かり知らぬことだ。
Yeah, Shira's not gonna vibe with that.
あら、ひどい男。毒は使いようということ？
私のマスターはマスター殺しに精力的でなくてね。その分、お前が他のマスターを潰してくれるのなら何かと助かる。
I
この
mean,
戦いの決着はその後でも遅くはあるまい。
fair enough, I guess. I can see the logic in that, I guess. That's kind of underhanded, but I can see the logic in it. Caster must have accepted it as she turns around.
待て、キャサ
I run to Caster, who's about to disappear, but Archer stops me.
バカか貴様。追えば確実に死ぬぞ。
Yeah, even weakened, you'd probably get utterly annihilated. He sounds calm. It's so true that I want to vomit from anger. I stop. Caster's black robe flutters in the wind and disappears. Oh man. What the heck? Okay, weapon screen updated. What's going on there? This is said to be the demonic sword possessed by the hero of Ireland, Fergus, but As the two in the name suggests, it is a different weapon from Fergus's sword, and Archer has applied improvements particular to himself. It is a noble phantasm considered the natural enemy of Cuchulainn, the great hero of Celtic myth, or Celtic myth. If the wielder of Caladbolg is Ulster-born, Cuchulainn has a natural duty to be defeated once by this sword due to his geis. Well, I mean, unless Archer is also also from Ireland, then and that doesn't necessarily mean he's due to defeat Lancer, I suppose. And then we have Concho and Bakuya, twin swords that Archer likes to use. Their rank as a noble phantasm is C-. They are a pair of swords with a strong bond that will return to their owner even if events cause them to be lost. Their strength as swords is high, but they also serve as ceremonial equipment. When both are equipped, magic resistance and physical resistance improve. It might just be Archer's taste, but words thought to be a charm against evil spirits are carved on the blade. The blades, divine skill, flawless and firm. Strength moves mountains. Blade cuts water. Life approaches the Imperial Villa. We embrace heaven together. Two great men shared life. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's look at the status screen a little bit. Probably a little bit of extra info about Archer at this point, right? What do you mean, question mark? They just said it was a C-. I guess they just haven't updated it. I guess it could mean he has another noble phantasm that hasn't been, like, brought up yet, but I'm guessing the one that was actually updated, yeah, was Ryder. Oh, I guess, yeah. We don't technically know that his servant is Ryder yet, so. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. High speed divine language, yeah, really high speed. Alright, we gotta move on. Castor has disappeared. Only Archer and I remain here. His figure just gets on my nerves. Archer has saved me twice already. Castor would have taken my command spell without him, and I'm sure I would have died from that rain of light. This is different. I can't forgive him for letting Castor go.
Archer. なんでキャスターを逃がした?
Jesus. My throat hurts from all the talking.
戦う時ではなかったからだ。ここで切り伏せたところで、あれはすぐさま逃げおせただろう。今の空間転移、見逃したわけではあるまい。
I mean, that's fair, but I guess maybe he thought in her weakened state, like, she wouldn't be able to do that anymore. That's certainly true. We wouldn't be able to get Castor if she really wanted to get away. After all, this is her territory. It's that witch. Even if she may have been weak, I'm sure she had at least one or two more tricks left up her sleeve. Yeah.
理解できたらしいな。キャスターを倒すのなら、マスターが先なのだ。いかに空間を飛んで逃れようが、よりしろであるマスターが倒されれば、キャスターとて消えざるを得ないからな。
Doesn't he sprite? That's like a really smug look. Going after the master and not the servant. That's the correct and the safest approach to the Holy Grail War.
それは分かってる。けど、だからって見逃すのか。街で起きてる事件は全部あいつの仕業なんだろう。キャスターを止めない限り犠牲者は出続ける。
I mean, what were you gonna do there?
そんなの放っておくなんてできない。
なぜ？お前自身が傷つくことではあるまい。むしろ、奴にはこのまま続けてもらいたいぐらいだ。キャスターは人々から正気を吸い上げ、その力でバーサーカーを倒す。私たちはその後でキャスターを倒せばいい。
I can see the logic in that, even if it's highly foul.
私とリンはキャスターは倒せるが、バーサーカーには及ばないのでな。バーサーカーを倒すまで、キャスターには好きにさせておくさ。
My head heats up. I get so pissed off that I want to punch Archer. That'd be a bold move.
ふざけるな。父さか、そんな方針は取らない。
And she probably totally would, actually.
そうだな。だからこそキャスターには手早くことを済ませてほしいものだ。リンがキャスターに追いつけば対決は避けられない。その前にキャスターがバーサーカーを退治してくれれば理想的だ。
I really thought, like, Archer was gonna pull out the "oh, but she would" card, right? I mean, she's never, like, we've seen that she clearly is not very happy with Castor, so it wasn't necessarily that I was like, you know, my read on Tosaka's character was that like she would let Castor go. I really thought he was about to pull the "oh, but she would" card, right?
何人犠牲になるかは知らんが、それでバーサーカーが倒せるのならば安いものだろう。
You're doing nothing but pissing Shiro off. I can't. It almost feels like this is on purpose. Like,
人間など結局は死ぬ生き物。誰にどう殺されようが結果的には変わるまい。
man, if we saw a vision of if that dream we saw was indeed of Archer, as I would suspect, then my God, there is a oof, something is wrong here. Like, something has changed very heavily since then, huh?
キャスターも手ぬるい。いっそ魔力だけでなく命まで奪ってしまえばよいもの。町中の人間が死に絶えれば少しは戦いやすくなる。私のマスターも根は甘いからな。
My
そうなれ
God.
ばもはやなりふりなどに構ってはいられまい。
Shiro really might try to punch him. The Knight in Red states with a smile. He says it with delight, that the people here are only a bother. He's saying the same thing Castor said.
ああ、お前も知っての通り、リンは形式にこだわるタイプでね。魔術師としては申し分ないが、マスターとしては汚さに欠ける。そうだな。彼女がキャスターのようになってくれれば、私もここまで苦労はしないのだが。
お前
He actually swung. Oh my God. I punch at Archer's face. Of course, it does not hit as Archer avoids it without trouble.
何をする？私たちは協力関係ではなかったか？
ふざけるな。俺はお前とは違う。勝つために、結果のために周りを犠牲にするなんて、そんなこと絶対にするものか。
それは私も同じだ、エミヤシロ。だが、すべての人間を救うことはできまい。例えば、キャスターが聖杯を手に入れてしまえば、被害はこの町だけにとどまるまい。それは、イリアスフィールも他のマスターも同じだ。
I mean, he's not wrong. He just made it sound like he, you know, he's saying he feels the same way, but he really did not make it sound like that just recently. He really, I mean, I guess he was coming from a position of, yeah, it would be easier, but and like he's, you know, talking about how like he made it sound like he was okay with the sacrifices, but here he's saying, you know, he feels the same way, but you can't save everyone. He's not wrong, but
聖杯を私利私欲で使わぬマスターは私が知る限りお前とリンだけだからな。故に私たちが勝利しなければ被害はさらに大きくなる。
so he's saying like we gotta wage total war. Like it's just no matter what happens to this town, it'll just be worse if we don't win.
ならばこの町の人間には犠牲になってもらい、私たちの役に立ってもらうしかあるまい。その結果で被害を抑えられるのなら、お前の方針と同じだろうさ。
I mean, I suppose that is a good point. Like, my head is numb. He doesn't even need to tell me that. One cannot save everyone. Kiritsugu always said that. So I shouldn't feel anything even if he says so. But it just pisses me off.
無関係な人間を巻き込みたくないと言ったな。 ならば認めろ。一人も殺さないなどという方法では結局誰も救えない。
It's gotta be the last thing he wants to hear,
キャ
but
スターの言う通り、残念ながら私たちは似た者同士だ。犠牲者を出したくないというのなら協力し合うしかあるまい。
yeah, but I mean, is that even enough?
違う。俺はお前なんかとは組まない。お前なんて絶対に認めない。
Dang.
そうか。お前が信じたものはリンだけだったな。
It's more like he rejects who you are with like every ounce of his being, you know? I turn my back to Archer. I'm different from him. If I can't ignore Castor, there's only one thing I need to do.
まさかキャスターを追うつもりか。
Oh yeah, he's totally gonna try to go after Castor. I ignore him and keep walking. I'm heading inside the temple. You are so dumb. Since this is Castor's territory, her workshop has to be inside the temple somewhere.
信じられんな。お前一人ではキャスターにかなうべくもない。命が惜しいのならやめておけ。
I mean, he's completely right. Archer follows me as if he has more to say.
まったくせっかく助けてやった命を無駄にするのか。それは構わんが、せめて感謝の一言でも残したらどうだ。先ほどの女性は私なりの行為だったのだがね。命の恩人とまではいかないが、視線を共にくぐり抜けた友人ぐらいにはありがたがってほしいものだ。
What the heck? He said, just thank me before you die. Man, he's really getting on my nerves.
うるさい。誰がお前なんかに友情を感じるもんか。いいからさっさと遠坂のところに帰れ。頼まれたってお前の手助けなんていらないんだから。
This man, they are. Sheesh. I look away and walk towards the temple again. Despite being so similar, like, he just cannot accept him. There.
そうか。懐かれなくて何よりだ。
A chilling intent to kill comes from behind me.
何？
I jump back as I turn around. Did he just try to kill Shiro? At the same time, Archer swings his sword. Did he just stab Shiro? I'm cut at my shoulder. My blood comes flowing out, and my consciousness will fade away if I let my guard down. The pain is so sharp that it feels like my body is burning. I back up with wobbling steps. It's not to run away. I just don't have any power, so my feet move back to try to keep my body upright. I can't say I expected this.
外したか。さっき抑えきれなかった私の落ち度か。とっさに反応したお前の起点か。まあ、どちらでも構わないが。
Archer walks towards me with a sword wet with my blood. I'll be killed. I feel that I'll be killed, so I move my feet in desperation. The temple's exit. I slowly retreat, trying to make my way to the mountain gate. He must know this is a fatal wound. Archer walks toward me without hurry. My mind's fading. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm headed to the mountain gate. I don't know why I was attacked. My mind is flowing out along with my blood. Maybe I'm still conscious because of the sword he's holding. The white short sword. The plain swords are captivating my eyes. They're stopping me from closing them. But it comes to an end. The mountain gate is behind me when I realize. Even though the steps are somewhere behind me, I can't even turn around. It's because Archer will slash Emiya Shiro's body in half the moment I turn my back.
最後だ。戦う意義のないエミヤ四郎はここで死ね。
He raises his sword. The white yin sword is raised like a guillotine.
戦う意義だって。
そうだ。自分のためではなく、誰かのために戦うなど、ただの偽善だ。お前が望むものは勝利ではなく平和だろう。
I mean, I guess. I mean, yeah, I mean, you only wish for peace and not victory. That's very true, but...
そんなものこの世のどこにもありはしないというのにな。
I oppose Archer's words in my fading consciousness, but my body and mind are about to disappear.
さらばだ。理想を抱いて溺死しろ。
Dang. His voice is filled with hatred. He swings the yin sword Bakia. He aims for the wound on my shoulder to cut my body for sure this time. But right before that, I want to oppose him so much that I jump backwards. His sword cuts through air, and my body flies through the air. The bottomless darkness is behind me. A big impact. After that, my body rolls down the stairs. Jeez. That boy's tumbling.
何事
I hear an unfamiliar voice.
シロ
And I also hear a familiar voice. My vision is almost gone. I try to lift up my body up and fall onto the steps.
シロしっかりおのれここまでの傷を負わせてなお階段から叩き落としたのか
Is it Saber? Saber supports my body while she talks with urgency. But that's bad. I don't know who it is, but there's another servant here. She'll get attacked without being able to defend if she's so worried about me. It is not, but okay.
まだ間に合いますシロの回復量ならこのまますぐに帰還すれば
She must have realized after saying that much. Saber turns her back to the servant, still supporting me.
アサシンなぜ私を撃たなかった
それこそ無粋。刹那の花を摘むことなど誰にもできぬ。
What? Saber tilts her head in wonder, unable to understand her enemy's intention.
何その横顔に見とれただけよ。果たし合う顔も良かったが、今の張り詰めようも捨てがたくてな。ついめでてしまったのだ。
I mean, I guess that means we're not dead at least. It's kind of weird, but... Is it a kimono? The traditionally dressed servant turns his back.
今宵はこれで十分。立ち去るがいい、セイバー。
私たちを見逃すというのかアサシン
そうだ。この続き、いずれ果たすというのなら見逃そう。今のお前では満足な戦いは望めまい。私とてそれは惜しい。
Saber glares at Assassin, and Assassin stares calmly at Saber. The breathtaking stare down continues for less than 10 seconds.
わかりましたアサシンあなたとの決着は必ず
良い返事だ。期待しているぞ、騎士王よ。
Does he know who she is? Saber goes down the steps with me in her arms, but I see the knight in red running down from the mountain, determined not to let me go.
アーチャー
Saber says so in wonder. He said that he will kill only when he swears to kill. And there's no way Archer will let me go. If he used his sword to kill me, I'm sure he will kill me here no matter what. His red robe flutters like a wing. It doesn't matter if Saber's here or not. Archer jumps down and slashes his sword at me. Swords clash. The sword attacks with lightning speed. The intercepting blade parries Archer's attack and goes for his neck.
アサシン貴様。
Archer twists his body and lands back down. The knight in red cannot come down the steps, being blocked off by the servant in a kimono.
邪魔をするつもりか、侍。
Archer readies his twin swords and faces servant Assassin. Assassin readies his swords as if nothing has happened.
それはこちらのセリフだ。貴様こそ見逃すといった私の邪魔をするつもりか。
Yeah, I guess that's what he's going for. This has been the most wild episode. This, like, the fights don't end. My God. He says so with delight. I don't know what he's thinking, but he must really be letting us go.
加えて私の役割はここの門番だ。生きては倒産し、生きては返さん。雪は見逃したが、 帰りは別だ。いささか雅さにかける首だが、今宵はそれで収めるとしよう。
His intent to kill leaks out. Assassin's intent to kill is as sharp as his longsword. It's not overbearing like the ones Archer and Saber have, but an enmity sharp into the extreme is going for the enemy's neck. Man, they really love that
よ
word,
く言
huh?
った。セイバーに傷一つつけられなかったキャスターの手駒風情が、この俺と戦うと。
This dude thinks pretty highly of himself, huh? Makes it sound like he's like leagues above Saber. God dang.
貴様こそあの女狐を驚かせようと送ったというのに、我が身可愛さで逃げ帰るとは失望したぞ。
They only confront each other for a short while. They attack each other with amazing techniques. I'm fascinated by the scene. To be honest, I can't understand Assassin's technique. Even to my experienced eyes, it's way too fast and too sharp. But that's why I'm fascinated by his technique. The dancing twin swords. Archer is defending Assassin's incomprehensible attacks with a technique I might be able to acquire. Yeah, sure. To be honest, you could say I admire it. He's fighting off Assassin's demonic technique with techniques only trained by his will and not his natural talent. Damn, it's natural that he's strong. Strength unlike Tosaka or Saber. All the training he went through because he's not extraordinary. He probably had nothing. That's why he took the small thing he had, trained it with all his might, and got it to that level.
シロ、今のうちにどちらにせよ、あなたの体を早く休ませなければ。
Yes, let's do that. I come back to reality with Saber's voice. We leave the Ryudo temple with Saber carrying me. The clashing of assassin and archer can still be heard behind us. What an eventful night. My wound is almost healed by the time we get back.
セイバーとつながってるから、セイバーの治癒能力がついてきているんじゃない？
Yeah, more or less. Not quite, but Tosaka's guess might be right as my wound heals faster when Saber's touching me.
それで一体何があったのですか？
Boy, is that a long story. Actually, it can be summed up pretty quick. Basically, we got jugged by Castor. Archer, for some reason, came in and decided to save us. He could have defeated Castor, then didn't. And then, as Castor left, we got into a fight with Archer. We threw the first punch, and then he tried to kill us. And then we escaped by rolling down the stairs. Saber demands an explanation once we get to the dojo after treating my wound and getting changed. I try to tell her all the important things. How I was controlled by Castor and went to the temple. The relationship between Castor and the coma incidents happening in town. How Archer came and saved me when my command spell was about to get taken away. And how Archer tried to kill me in the end. Saber is pondering something. I'm sure she wants to first organize things in her head since so many things occurred in one night.
なるほど。では、アーチャーはキャスターを見逃したのですか？
Yep.
はあ、見逃したさ。あいつは最低だ。いくら勝つためでも、キャスターみたいなやつを利用するだなんて。それじゃキャスターと何も変わらないじゃないか。
I suppose. It pisses me off again now that I recall it. Damn, I should have punched him in the face back then. I tried. Then, Saber has a weird expression.
セイバー、なんでそこで笑うんだよ。
いいえ、シローが人の悪口を言うなんて珍しいと思いまして。まだ数日ほどしかシローを見ていませんが、あなたはそんな風に陰口を言う人ではないと分かっていましたから。
For him to go at Archer like that, bro, they hate each other. Now that she mentions it, I contemplate my immature actions for complaining.
けどしょうがないだろ。アーチャーはそれだけのことを言ったんだ。あいつは何より相棒の遠坂をバカにしたんだぞ。
そうですね。ですがシロー、一つ尋ねますが、シローはアーチャーの裏切りが許せないのですか？
We did throw the first punch, to be fair.
どうも、あなたは彼に切りつけられたことを怒っているようには見えない。
He actually doesn't seem mad about that. Oh, yeah. So the fact that Archer tried to kill me would be betrayal. But that's...
それは違う。あいつは俺を裏切ったわけじゃない。初めからあいつとは何も約束していなかった。だからアーチャーが俺を襲ってもそれはありなんだと思う。
それはそうですが、
Yeah.
まったくシロは不思議ですね。
Yeah, he's a bit of a mystery. He's a strange one. She says so in utter amazement. But I think there's some friendliness in her tone.
結論から言うと、私もシロと同じです。キャスターは放置できませんが、アーチャーは非道ではないのでしょう。
ちょっと待て。
Yeah, wait.
人の話のどこら辺を聞いてたんだよ。
I feel the same way as you, Shiro. Can't let Castor be, but Archer's not cruel. He's like, wait, what? I literally just said the opposite.
すべてです。それを踏まえた上で、私もシロと同意見だと言っています。加えて、彼の嫌疑は清流でした。心によこしまなものがないのでしょう。舞うような剣撃は、彼の人格を物語っていると思う。
I think it's probably as simple as he genuinely knows that he can't save everyone, right? And he knows there have to be sacrifices, right? Or there will have to be some kind of sacrifices. And in his eyes, I guess using Castor to accomplish that goal is the best way to get there, right? To minimize the sacrifices. I like it even less now. Something's wrong with Saber to praise him. First of all, Archer's technique is... Weren't you stunned by it? No, I was crazy back then. He's like a yogurt that's about to expire compared to Saber. What?
何言ってんだ。あいつの剣なんて大したことない。不意打ちしたくせに俺一人殺し損ねたんだぞ。そんなんでよくサーバントを名乗れるってもんだ。
To be fair, that's the second servant that you've avoided being killed by now.
ええ。ですからシロも筋がいいのです。長く鍛えれば、アーチャーに届く技量になりましょう。
Yeah, honestly, I can see it, especially with his, like, natural instincts. I can't object if Saber says so with a face like that. Anyway, it seems Saber approves of Archer's technique. I don't know why, but I don't like that fact.
セイバー、俺筋がいいって言ったな。
はい。長ずれば良い使い手となるでしょう。
決めた。なら傷が治り次第剣を教えてくれ。今までみたいな生き残るための鍛錬じゃなくて戦う方法を教えてほしい。
This is kind of different from how it was before, right? I hold Saber's hand and stare at her directly in her eyes.
あ、はい。シロがそういうのでしたら構いませんが。
Alright, I have no complaints if Saber can teach me. I won't make the same mistake I made tonight, and it's not like me to keep running away. And more than anything, I cannot lose to that guy who said we need more victims in order to reduce the number of victims. Okay. Status screen updated. Yeah. Here in my mouth. Alright. What part of the status screen was updated? This? His master being Castor is just the... Oh my god, that's the most wild thing. That's just crazy. So now the only person whose master that we have not identified is actually Castor herself. Because everybody else we know the master of. Interesting, interesting. That is just still the craziest thing to me. That she took her own servant. Wow. Alright, so that will be all for this episode. This was a long one. All things considered, given where we are in the route, I did not expect this episode to almost hit the 3-hour mark. I figured I would have been out of here about an hour ago, honestly. But this episode was just insane. We had the bit at the beginning, right? With, oh my god, I feel so bad that I can't remember her name. Archery girl, the one that got kidnapped, or that I'm pretty sure Shinji did something to. One he spread rumors about. I already forgot her name. I'm not gonna remember it anytime soon. We had her. We've got confirmation that she's safe. She's alive, but mentally she seemed. It sounded like something was like wrong with her mentally, almost like she seemed like kind of out of it, like, and her eyes, like everybody noted her eyes. So I feel like something happened to her, man. Then we met Shinji. Again, like for the first time, like time in this route, really, that we properly met Shinji. And he confirmed immediately that he's a master, tried to ally with us, right? And we kind of said no, but we called a truce with him. Oh man, it's so frustrating. That whole thing was frustrating. But obviously Shiro doesn't know everything that like Shinji's done or that he's very capable of doing, so we can't really fault him for that decision. Even if it feels a bit dumb, you know, to just fully trust him like that. But whatever, right? And then right after that, we get to the next relevant part is, you know, Caster like forcing Shiro all the way over there. And almost taking his command spell before he got saved by Archer, of all people. Like of his own will, not even ordered. Archer decided to save him. Then you have the fight between Archer and Caster, which was really cool, right? And Archer, like he could have killed her, and he just didn't, you know. Was something else, man. It was a really nice fight. And then you had the kind of the talks of ideals between Shiro and freaking Archer, which led to Shiro like trying to punch Archer, and then Archer trying to kill Shiro, and then he managed to get away. God, my throat hurts. A lot of talking. But no, this episode was genuinely insane. Like, the amount that we have veered off course compared to the Fate route is just absurd. But it's an awesome setup so far. This route is going so much faster than the Fate route. So much more is going on. You know, so many more fights. That relationship between Archer and Shiro is just, ooh man, it's something. I feel like it's gonna develop somehow, like pretty significantly. But I don't know like how that will be. I don't even have a ton else to say. Like, this episode was just amazing. I will definitely do my best to record again soon. I really hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Sorry it kind of took as long as it did. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I know I did. I really want to get back to the game if I can. So with that said, I hope to see you guys on the next episode. Peace.